Welcome to Stories of Brisco and Bradshaw. I would be Bradshaw. That would be your Chickasaw native, your Chickasaw Hall of Famer, Oklahoma's favorite and greatest son, Mr. Gerald Brisco. And I was going to say, this comedian is the greatest comedian in the history of the world, the greatest stand-up in the history of the world. I saw him entertain the troops. I've seen him on America's Got Talent, but I can't say any of that because his agent sent me this long list. So Taylor Williamson is a comedian.
Wait a minute, John. Who sent you that long list?
His agent sent me this.
I think it wasn't his agent. He fired to his last 4 agents. It was his publicist.
His publicist. All of this is from his publicist. And it's all in caps. So Taylor
Williamson, did you piss her off too?
I don't know, but he's a comedian best known for being runner-up on America Got Talent. See, I wouldn't have said that because you're runner-up. I would have said you're the greatest on America's Got Talent, but this is all from your publicist. He started performing stand-up when he was a senior in high school.
Senior?
Yeah, in Del Mar, California.
At that rich high school he went to with John Lynch and all those fancy nutties out there.
Oh, yeah. He was like the upper elite, the snowflake generation. Yeah. He was in high school in Del Mar, California. Soon after, he moved to L.A. and became the youngest comic to perform on a Late Late Show. He's also appeared on shows like...
How young was he?
It doesn't say. His publicist doesn't list an age. You think that would be important? Like if
you think, if you're saying I'm the youngest ever, I mean, what age? Like at what age? 8, 7?
Yeah, if he's like 7.
I saw a little 5-year-old kid on Johnny Carson one time.
So he had to be 4.
Yeah, he had to be at least 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and he performed on. Let's see, he's also been on AGT. Is that America's Got Talent?
I don't know.
That's where Mr. Brisco said you had to run in with Heidi Fleiss, right? All Stars, Comedy, Central's Live. I think there's some commas missing on here at Gotham. Last Call with Carson Daly, the Nick Cannon Show. And he was a semifinalist on Last Comic Standing.
A semifinalist.
Now get this. Taylor's been interviewed on podcasts like WTF with Mark Maron, Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santini. It doesn't list us anywhere.
He hadn't said anything about being on the podcast.
No, it doesn't say anything about us as friends. I guess his publicist doesn't know who we are. His comedy can be heard in his debut album titled Laughter, ? I hardly knew her. And that's apparently if we had a laugh track, we'd put a laugh track in right there. His brand new
contact Dave Silva and have to put a laugh track on this.
We're going to get some laughter put in there from Dave Silva, who's writing you a check, by the way, because you demanded one because you're one of these Hollywood guys.
Yeah, John, have we ever had anybody demand before they come on air? I mean, he posted a picture of Jeff Jarrett. I don't get the correlation, with him and Jarrett.
He posted a picture of Jeff Jarrett, sent it to us, and said, "I demand money. Apparently, my contract's up." So apparently, there's something hidden there. I don't know what that meant. Nobody's ever done that. We've interviewed some great legends, rock and roll stars, MMA stars, baseball stars, Hall of Famers, all of them. Nobody's demanded any money. Let's see, where was I? His brand new special, Live at the Comedy Store, is now streaming free on YouTube.
John, I got to say, it's free, so I tuned into it, It's pretty funny. It's real funny for free.
Is it really funny?
For free.
For free. Yeah. It's great.
On
YouTube. Taylor is most proud of performing on 2 USO tours, performing for our troops around the world. So, wait. If you did 2, was that all the way around the world? Was your travel around the world, or where were the 2?
You even gonna mock the troops, huh?
No, I'm not mocking the troops. I'm mocking your travel, because if you say you were your 2, if it was like San Diego and Phoenix, it really wasn't around the world. It was like in the Southwest.
I mean, to be honest, my bio used to say.
Why would you not be honest?
To be honest, as I am, my bio used to say I performed stand-up comedy all over the world because I've been to Canada. but for the troops, I performed in Italy and Guantanamo Bay. So I think that counts, and San Antonio.
You were in Guantanamo Bay with a friend of mine. Somebody sent me I was with somebody that knew you from down there.
Well, one of your friends, the prisoners down there, John?
Yeah, which Al Qaeda member was your buddy?
I've got friends in a lot of prisons. I don't think
none of our business, right?
Yeah, somebody said my buddy was just down there and was with a comedian, and I said, "Who was this?" I said, Taylor Williamson, and I sent you a text on it. Thanks for remembering.
And by the way, John, you were invited by Taylor to go to a retiring what was the chief commanding officer of the United States Armed Forces, and Washington D.C. had a big shindig up there, and Taylor stole the show that night, right?
Stole the show. It was an awesome show. That a retiring general, this big wig in the Pentagon, and Taylor was up there. Absolutely stole the show. It was a gracious invite. Taylor was very funny. Everybody loved him. I would have said about that in my bio, but I couldn't because his publicist sent me this all thing in all caps.
Yeah, that was the first time I met you, JBL. I was so honored to host this event for the retirement for the vice chairman, the Joint Chief of Staff, and I had a +1.
General.
What?
General.
Well, General, basically the vice chair.
Does he have a name? Does this guy vice
General Heighton, the vice chair, respect 4-star general, vice chair of the Joint Chief of Staff. Helped who's the Air Force veterans, helped make Space Force happen, which apparently is a real thing. He swears it's a real thing. It's not just a joke. And but I had a +1, and I was like, I could bring a pretty lady. Or I told Gerald, or he's like, you should hit up JBL. So I had a blind date with JBL, who's my +1, and it was.
And I set up that blind date. Matter of fact, I'm real proud of that.
Yeah, you were a matchmaker, pal.
Yeah, you guys, you were a couple made in heaven.
Yep.
So that was a real joy, and then
I tell people that at the table over there, like I said, boy, he's really good. I go, yeah, he's with me.
So funny. Well, listen, guys, I've been through a lot in the last 5 minutes, but besides that, it's great to be here, and I'm honored, and you know how much I admire one of you, and thank you for having me.
Which one is it, JBL or me?
Let's keep it spicy, and I won't tell you.
Okay, I like that. Hey, Taylor, let's go back. I'd like the Wayback Machine and Mr. Peabody. You remember Mr. Peabody on the cartoons?
Yeah, from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, that's right. Good memory. Yeah, he's that little doggy, Mr. Peabody. I think his dog, wasn't he?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know what he is now. You can switch around now what you want to be.
Probably grew up. What
do you mean you can switch around what you want to be?
The dog could be a cat now.
That's how Hollywood is, John. You can be whatever you want to be.
So a dog can identify as a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is. So anyway,
I have no problem with it.
You have a problem with that? You have a problem?
I don't have a problem with it.
Canceled.
Boy, are you getting feisty, Taylor?
I got a new favorite now. My favorite switched.
What's your favorite flip?
You're my favorite one now. I switched.
I'll take it. What you'll switch over before the show's over. I'm sure. So anyway, let's go on the way back. Way back when you were almost a preteen, in your very first WWE wrestling match in the greatest arena of all time in San Diego, the sports arena.
How do you know that?
Well, I looked at your bio that you're published.
Oh yeah, she sent us or he sent us, whoever it is, a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, how did you get mom to take you? What did you see? Did you see me on TV and say, I want to be like that guy, or did you see John on TV and said, I hate that guy, I want to go see him? Or how did you get to the sports?
Or I want to date that guy.
I was like, wow, one day I hope to go on a date. I've technically been on a date with both of you, if you think about it. We can explain it later. But and we will.
Bluesy.
Yeah, I really got into wrestling as a kid. Like, you know, like, I mean, I think every kid, I was born in 86, but you grow up and then like my uncle would be like, here's a toy. And it's like a Jake the Snake Roberts toy. And I'm like, whoa, you know, like it's the coolest thing. And my earliest childhood memory, besides my parents fighting, is Jake Roberts bringing his snake to attack poor Randy Savage, Macho Man. Remember when he's making the snake bite him, you know? So I was whenever I got to see wrestling on TV, we didn't have cable. I mean, not interesting story. My TV growing up, we didn't, in my mom's house, my parents are divorced, we didn't have a remote control. so I could just press up and down on the TV. And
Did you have to go to the TV? Were you the remote control?
Yeah, just because we didn't have a TV with a remote. It wasn't because I'm born in 1950. It's just because we didn't have a remote control. My mom never got one. And you're a kid, you just go, I guess we don't have one. And we don't know. You can be like, Mom, go get one. And so I didn't know. But the point, and the punchline of the story is, I always had cable. We had TBS and stuff, but I didn't know it. Anyway, so then one day we got a TV. And then a new TV, and then I could plug it in, and I had USA Network, and I'm like, "What?"
Did it have a remote control?
I had a remote control,
and
then I would.
Did the old TV not have a remote, or did you just like her mom not use it?
Hey, don't talk about my mom.
I'm not talking about your mom. Maybe she didn't want to use it. Maybe she thought
literally. You did, John. You did.
Maybe she thought you using your little legs going back and forth with exercise.
Yeah, build up those legs.
Yeah, like Tom Platz.
Time out. I'm being serious. Dave Silva cut out that part where he talked about my mom. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Dave.
Thank you.
No, my mom cut out your check.
take it out of my check. That's fine. They'll charge me for labor. That's fine. But we just have the remote was missing. I don't know. But so then I started watching USA Network, and I watched.
How did it miss? I mean, that's something important.
It's the most irrelevant part of the story. My mom.
No, it's not.
I didn't have a remote control. I don't know, pal. Okay.
Pal.
Then I got a new TV and it came with a remote control.
He's talking in all caps, Mr. Brisco.
Listen, can I ask you a question? Why do you call him Mr. Brisco, but you don't call me that?
Because he's Mr. Brisco, and you're not Mr. Brisco.
I'm 170 years old. When you get to be 170 years old, they'll call you Mr. Brisco.
Why would I call you Mr. Why would I call you Mr. Brisco?
Yes, I want to know too. Maybe
Mr. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Maybe Mr. Pritchard.
Yeah.
Hey, watch that. That's even worse.
That's even worse.
It's even worse to talk about my mom.
We're not talking about your mom.
We're talking about Bruce Pritchard.
But I don't be in the same sentence as him.
Oh, you don't like Bruce?
What did Bruce do to you?
Yeah, what did he do to you?
I can't legally talk about it. We have a litigation.
You wrote the roast for him, didn't you?
Yeah, he stole all my jokes. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so you're 13 years old and you don't have a remote control. You're living in a fanciest section of San Diego, California, without a remote control.
Try to sell me as like that. I had a single mom. I went to a rich public school, but I had a single mom who was a hard-working woman.
She's an artist too, by the way, right?
Brilliant artist. Check her out on social media at Suzanne Marie Artworks. Just got her social media set up. Her artwork's been in movies and TV shows.
It's really cool too. You sent me a link and I looked at it.
Now, what is it? Susan Marie?
SUZANNE, Suzanne Marie Artworks, and .com or social media, whatever. But we just got her on social media. She was famous in Japan in the 90s. Like, it's really, really special.
It was Mr. Brisco.
And the 80s.
Yeah, and the 80s.
50s too.
Listen, can we get to the point?
Okay, so you're trying to tell a great story.
I liked wrestling, and then I got to go to my first wrestling match, Holiday Hell Tour, January 1997.
There was a particular match at that Holiday Hell. So you remember that Holiday Hell Tour, John?
I do remember. I was on it. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
You were on it with Road Dogg or something like that. What happened? Something happened that night that changed your life. Hey, your publicist is good, man. She sent me all this stuff.
We spent calls with her all week long.
Do you know what my first match I ever saw live? And this is truly
that made an impression on you.
No, but first match I ever saw live. I just
changed your life forever. It was the opening match, is what you're saying. Then
it was Jesse James versus some guy named Bradshaw.
Who's that?
You're a fan.
Isn't that cool though? Like I
look at the impression you made on him, John. You made him a fan for life, and that
Road Dogg and I are responsible for you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you. But
if you had a remote, would you have changed this?
Yeah.
Change the channel, you mean, like fast forwarded?
So what happened in the results of the match? I need to know this stuff.
Did I win?
Can I be honest?
No, John, you didn't win.
Can I be honest? I don't know because I went to go pee.
You didn't even watch our match?
I'm just joking. But no, are you kidding me? I know Bradshaw lost though.
Yeah, did you get emotional over that loss too? And why?
Me or him?
You. No, I'm sure. I know John did. He got emotional forever.
Oh yeah, I'm still griping about it.
Well, I was like, that guy's a jerk, and I'm happy he got what was coming to him.
Me
You
or
didn't
Rosie?
cry. You did not cry.
No, I mean, I was like, I think
Or
people
your
should
publicist is a liar.
Bingo.
I cried. No, I think I cried because I was just worried that he was going to be mad that he lost and hurt more people. See, I want to be a good wrestler because I don't want to I had like a scary guy in San Francisco last week like threatened me, like just a not well person, you know, and I was trying to he was being rude to the
Is this at the wrestling matches?
this was at Chipotle last week.
Chipotle.
But he was rude to the lady who works there, so I tried to intervene, which is I'm like 0 for 500 but trying to stop a fight and stop something bad from happening. I'm not the guy that should be doing that. And then he was saying scary things at me, and then I was like, oh wow, I've learned in life you don't want to rile up people who are mean and angry. So I was worried that Jesse James beat Bradshaw. Bradshaw's not gonna be like, oh, I learned my lesson. I think he's gonna be angrier. So I would, if Bradshaw was mean to me, I wouldn't fight him. I'd be like, hey man, have a good day.
So you're comparing me to some homeless psycho in Chipotle.
Good comparison, Taylor.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, this went a long ways.
But yeah, isn't that special? If you were my first match I ever saw live, like legit.
Live,
so cool.
that's a memory right there, and it made you a wrestling fan for life, right?
I loved it. It was honestly, it was so cool, and like it was a house show before WrestleMania 12, so like it blew my mind that like the Undertaker and Psycho Sid fought the same match they're gonna do right before Mania, and like, I mean, the lineup is insane. I was looking it up this morning, but
you still have the card from that night?
Yeah, you want me to pull it up real quick?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, your publicist didn't send us that.
Yeah, she didn't consider it, didn't send us that one.
Hold on. Here it is.
So this is before WrestleMania 12?
Yes, sir.
And that was the Iron Man. Was that the Iron Man match with Shawn and Brett?
Oh, forgive me, WrestleMania 13. It was right before WrestleMania 13. So that was Undertaker. That was Undertaker and Psycho Sid, and that was the main event, or maybe I guess the main event was Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, and then Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith versus Mankind and Executioner, Bret Hart versus Vader, Triple H or Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Mark Marrow, Farouk versus Savio Vega, Flash Funk and Leaf Cassidy, and Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon versus Razor Ramon 2 and Diesel 2.
Leaf Cassidy. Who was Leaf Cassidy? The first name.
Al Snow.
Al Snow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's when he came in as I think the other rocker. I think.
There's new
Wasn't that
rockers.
right?
Yeah.
New rockers.
Yeah. New rockers.
And I was the biggest wrestling fan. Like I went hardcore. Like I'd buy all the PWI almanacs and I would memorize everything. Like,
did you get picked on in school because of that?
You know what? It was funny. Like in seventh, I went to public school, and then in seventh grade, I had to go to private school for 1 year because I had like a surgery. My mom.
What did you get kicked out of private school?
No, my mom thought I needed to go to private school to get like more attention because I had some surgery, and so then I came back in eighth grade to public school.
What kind of surgery is that? Where you had the metal implanted in your ear?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm good, huh? These other guys that you go on these shows, do they have all this inside information on you?
The answer is no, they don't.
No, they don't.
We read everything your publicist sent us. We read
everything.
I don't.
We had volumes of stuff. It took us. We're not fast readers. We're from the South.
It sounds like Brisco read it all, and you didn't read anything.
Mr. Brisco read it and told me about it. He's a faster reader than me.
I had like a tumor-like thing in my ear, so I had to have a surgery, and so I have poor hearing in my left ear. That's why if I can't hear you too much, it's because of my hearing. But so I have a titanium thing in my ear, and my mom thought I might need more attention or whatever. So I went to private school for a year. I came back in eighth grade, and
Did they give your ear more attention?
sir, I just told you how I'm disabled, and you're making fun
I'm
of
just
it.
asking about
Way
your
to go.
handicap.
You're pissing off our guest, John.
But no, I'm not
I'm
mad.
sorry, I'm
Is
asking
that
about your handicap. Do they like?
is that your style of humor? I'm just checking.
No,
I
do
don't
they
know.
cater
I know
to
you as
your
a great
ear?
wrestler. I know
I mean-
you're a great wrestler. I don't know you as your humor. Is that what's funny to you? Because I
Do
want
you
you
get
to.
a parked in like the front spot?
Oh, that's his humor, huh, Brisco? His humor.
That's it. Did you get one of those little tags you can hang on your mirror?
Wait, that's your humor too? That's your humor too. Wow. Wow.
I've been around
Wow.
a Texan too long. I'm a nice guy,
Wow.
though. I'm an oldie.
Wow.
So
I'm
how do you
glad
get
my
more attention for your ear?
Okay,
Wow,
so tell
I'm
us,
glad-
Johnny,
I'm glad-
tell
I'm
us
glad-
a serious story about his ear. So,
I'm glad I went through all those surgeries so I could hear those words. That
I'm
really like
asking.
were you
glad-
able to hear better? Were you able to hear better?
I'm so happy that my mom spent all that money and I had to have hours and hours of surgery so I could hear those insults from my first wrestling. The guy who is my hero from my childhood, who I saw.
Way to go, John.
What?
First
Way
wrestling.
to
You
go,
said you were
John.
glad I got
That's-
beat.
That's
You said you were glad I got beat.
yeah, because you were really mean to him. You were really mean to the Road Dog. What did he do to you? He's just trying.
Road Dogg?
Road Dogg was just trying to help music. He just set up this music before the band played. He just wanted to make sure the sound worked, and then you beat him up.
Who was the group Manili Vanilli that lip sync? That was Jeff Jarrett with lip sync.
That
Jarrett
song was
actually
really
doesn't have a
good.
bad voice. Not like Road Dogg. Road Dogg's got a great voice.
So was that really Road Dogg singing?
Yeah, he's a great singer. I mean, Road Dogg should have been a freaking country music or some type of singer. He's really good.
Let me ask.
There's a lot less talented people who made millions of dollars singing than Road Dogg. I always thought he could have made a lot of money.
Did you ever sing, Taylor?
Yeah.
Did you? What did you
Can I
sing?
tell you?
Yeah,
So
please,
can I tell you an honest story?
Yeah,
One-
please.
after
It's
I did
about time you tell us an honest story.
Why is there always a caveat on honesty?
Listen. So after I did America's Got Talent was getting attention for random things, and I got an audition for Book of Mormon. You know that big time Broadway musical, you know, that the South Park guys made. So I got it's an audition where I have to sing, and I'm just like, what? But they want a comedic person where you don't have to be a brilliant singer. You just have to sing on tune. You know what I mean? Like they have all the brilliant singers behind you, but you just have to pass and be funny. And
You got to be Milli Vanilli, as John said.
not really, but you just have to hit the notes. You know, you don't have to be great. You can be funny, talking, singing. So I took the audition and I met with this singing coach from America's Got Talent who works with all the artists, and I worked so hard because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go for it. And it's zero. I'm not a singer. Karaoke is the scariest thing I could ever do. One time I went on a date with a girl when I was like 22, and she wanted to go to a karaoke bar, and I was like too scared to say no. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Singing in public is my worst nightmare. Literally, the vulnerability is terrifying to me, and I'm scared and I'm not confident. And then someone told me, pick a song that you know. So I truly picked the worst song you could ever pick. I picked Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen because I know the words, but it's like 12 minutes long, and I don't. And then it's an extreme song that hits all the things. And then after like 2 minutes, everyone was like, okay, well, we'll move on. And then I didn't date her. But the point is, so I
karaoke in Japan with Bob Orton.
Oh.
You know, it'd been better if you would have picked Jeff Jarrett's entry song.
Yeah. I should have picked that. They were like, what is this?
You know what would have been better if you picked Jeff Jarrett's entry song and had Road Dogg sing for you.
Yeah.
So the point is, I do the audition for Book of Mormon, and then they liked it a lot, and then they gave me a call back, and I'm like, are you guys messing with me? Am I allowed to curse on this show? Do we curse?
Yeah, you can curse. This morning is not bad.
Are you guys screwing with me?
Wow, Taylor.
Dave,
Go wash your mouth out with soap.
Dave
soap.
Silva, can you cut that out, please?
Please, Silva.
But they gave me a call back.
We're going to lose all those sponsors now.
Oh, yeah. We are, all because of you.
But then they made me do a callback, and I swear they're just fucking with me. I literally think that they just thought it was so funny to watch me suffer and sing, and then it was anyway. So I'm not a singer person. But what was the point of any of this?
We have no idea.
The Heidi Fleiss.
Yeah,
but so then
Heidi Fleiss.
Hold on. How do you play? Anyway, so I get picked up for watching wrestling. So then I came back to 8th grade, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm
Are
wearing
we just in 8th grade?
Wow, we got a
I'm
long
wearing
way
my
to go,
Undertaker
John.
shirt. I got my Stone Cold wallet. I got my Undertaker shirt, my NWO hat. I'm all about it. I'm going hard. And then all my friends who I haven't seen in a year, cause I didn't hang out with all the time and stuff, they're all like kissing girls and smoking cigarettes. And I remember this one guy, and
Was
he's
it
like,
pot? Was it pot? Because you were in Southern California, so it's probably
how
pot.
dare you? Look, oh yeah, okay, Florida man. Every time I talk to you, you know how Gerald says goodbye on the phone? He doesn't go goodbye. He goes, all right, I got to go take my medicine.
What's wrong with that? Are you making fun of Mr. Brisco for being older?
No, he's smoking marijuana.
What? That's what that is.
You didn't know?
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, John. No,
What?
you can't trust these Hollywood type people.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. An accusation of drug use? Dave Silva, cut that out for sure.
Please, Dave.
They've cut out the whole show. Cut out the whole show. But the point is, so then in 8th grade, like one of my friends like popular now, and he's like, yeah, man, we can't talk about wrestling. I'm like, why? That's all we talk about. He's like, we got to be private. And like, instead of saying Kane, talk about like, how's that red guy doing? And I'm like, this is weird, but I've always been a proud fan. And now it's cool to like, it's so funny. Like, it's like, whatever. It's like, there's a time where it's like being a nerd for anything wasn't cool, but now it's cool to be a nerd for things. And life's wild.
Hey, yeah, speaking of being nerd, is that when you went to hanging out on Muscle Beach with your body and you got all your photos with all the great stars? And that's another publicist hit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, you know what? So the next year, my mom, like super mom, like she really like supported this nonsense.
So you actually had a great mom that you kind of stay in the background. Yeah, my mom, she did do a good job. Your mom did a great job from the sound, right, John? I mean, took him Muscle
I think your
Beach,
mother
took him to live wrestling. Well, what a wonderful person.
Wonderful
I run her
person.
Instagram. I love her. So in next year, this was a big dilemma in my life, like 1998.
Did she mind you dropping the F-bomb earlier?
Please don't. I mean, she's gonna be watching this episode multiple times, so she'll be very upset about it. But so she knows who both of you are, by the way.
Why is that such a big deal? It's like,
no, but moms don't know.
She knows who Bruce Pritchard is too, John.
She doesn't know who Bruce Pritchard is. I can assure you that.
Oh, poor Bruce.
I can assure you. I made sure that she doesn't. How dare you, by the way.
Okay.
Can I tell you, Bruce doesn't return my text messages unless I bait him. Like, literally, I've tested it. He will not text me back anything on earth. But if I go, hey, Bruce, stay away from my mom, he'll go, he can't help it. It's like catnip for him. He'll be like, oh, yeah, she says hi. Or, yeah. Like, she'll make some joke about how he's my father. I'm like, he's a terrible person.
Bruce Pritchard is your father?
No.
I would never admit to that, Taylor.
I did not. Listen to the point. You guys
Bruce is having surgery today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, from lifting all those heavy weights he used to lift.
What did you do to him?
John separated his shoulder the other night at Raw.
Listen, you set me up for a story.
Oh no, I'm asking you a question about when John. This is a great story that his publicist informed me about. When he went and hung out at Muscle Beach, with those big pectoral muscles.
Oh, I love that place. It's awesome.
Latissimus muscles.
Arnold and Franco back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They took him under his wing, and what happened, Taylor?
So it was a big day in wrestling. It was in LA. It was, I think, 1997, 98, or 98. It was the summer. And there was like a WWF show at the Anaheim Pond. It was a house show. But then there was also a WCW Saturday Nitro. It was like a show broadcast on radio. But during the day, there was a signing with Chyna and Triple H and Sonny and Ken Shamrock. And then it was a big deal because Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Sean Waltman, they came over to hang out, and everyone was like, what is happening? Because it's like before the internet was huge and stuff, and the different organizations coming in. And then
was Dave Meltzer there?
Probably. He was probably there, yeah. But that was a really fun, that was really cool. And then I went to the WCW show. I'm sorry. I
So what
apologize.
show do you went to WCW show after hanging out with all the wrestlers, all the WWF wrestlers?
Yeah.
Wow. The publicist didn't bring up that part of it.
Postal didn't send us that.
So.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
So,
But,
this is all just enhancing your love for professional wrestling that you're meeting all that. Would all these stars stand up to what your anticipation of meeting them was?
yeah, everyone was really nice. Everyone was very kind. Undertaker was scary when I met him, but then in hindsight,
he's scary now too.
But like I think so probably. But like it's funny, like I was a kid and I met. It's so funny that you guys would do autograph signings like in front of Albertsons, like just random grocery stores. People just walking out, they're like, "Is that the Undertaker?" Like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? I met Ken Shamrock at Taco Bell also in San Diego. Like, it's so silly. Like, but
doing an autograph or making an order.
I went to 2 Ken Shamrock autograph signings as a kid, and Undertaker, I met him outside Albertsons, and I was like, "Thank you for the autograph, Mr. Undertaker, sir," and he just went, "Sure, kid," and I was, and what's he supposed to say? He's the dead man. He's in a gimmick, you know. Like, I mean, hey, you're welcome, kid. I hope you have a wonderful time today. You know, like I don't know, but I was like bummed that he wasn't like he didn't want to be my dad.
Rest in peace.
I don't want Bruce to be my dad, but I want Undertaker to be my dad. You know?
You don't want Undertaker to be your dad. What's wrong with Bruce? Bruce is a good man.
He's a good guy.
You're very different on the air than you are off the air, Gerald. You say very different things.
What about Bruce?
Yeah.
Well, depending on the time of day with Bruce, you know.
Listen,
so let's go back. Let's go back to Taylor. So you're doing all this wrestling stuff. Was in the back of your mind, hey, I'm gonna grow up to be a professional wrestler, or did you have a little bit of that comedian in the blood? Or was that pre-comedian stuff?
No, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I joined the wrestling team in 8th grade. I joined the wrestling team. You want to guess?
Was John Lynch on that team?
No, he went to my high school about like 40 years before me.
Okay.
But on my team, I don't remember the people on my team, but I had a really good record, a very consistent record.
Consistent. I like that consistent.
I don't remember how many matches I did, but I know that there's not very many wins. But I feel good. I put people over, you know. It's like a JBL at WrestleMania 21. Like it's an honor to put people over, and that's what I did. And at the Holiday Hell tour, you put people over a lot at JBL. The lights.
So I'm the Washington Generals now to the Globetrotters, is what you're saying.
But you know what? I never thought of it like that. You are like the Generals of wrestling.
What?
That's such an honor. It's an honor.
Did you just call John the Washington Generals of professional wrestling?
But somebody's got to let you know if the lights need to be replaced. You know. You don't know unless you can see up there.
So Taylor, all this is going on in your mind.
If we were next to each other, if we were next to each other, I would not be saying these things. But I'm across the country, so I feel very safe.
You know, there are airplanes.
Yep, and I got a lot of miles on American.
And John's got a lot of miles on the airlines.
So is that fake wood behind you?
I think it's real.
I think it's real, actually. I'll try to get a splinter. I'll just keep rubbing until I get a splinter. It's real.
How did it get there, Taylor?
It came with my home. I don't know.
Okay. So that all these Hollywood homes, John, all these Beverly Hills Hollywood comes with a built-in studio.
Really?
Yeah.
So that?
Yeah. What are your Taylor's price range they doing?
Oh yeah. You A-listers or something.
What are you supposed to do when like you're on a date? Like, are you supposed to like tell girls you're rich? Because I've done that. Then they come to my house and they're like, "I thought you said you were rich," and I'm like, "What's that?" And then I leave, and then they're like trapped in my house, and then
you leave them in your house alone.
Why would you do that?
Perfect strangers.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so then.
So when did you become funny?
It hasn't happened yet. I don't think. I'm still waiting for that day.
So but you won a talent show at your elementary school, and you became the youngest comedian ever to be on the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah, you're 84. So how was Johnny Carson?
You know what? He was a jerk.
Was he
Was he
really?
Yeah, really disappointing, honestly.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about dead people like that?
Yeah, he's dead.
Did he die?
He died, yeah.
That's
I
not
don't.
exactly news. He was a really big comedian. He had a show for a long time.
I know. I didn't know he passed away. Really sad. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for
Well,
this. Should we
good.
take a break?
Yeah, no. Let's go back. Let's get out of this subject there. So let's still, we're still in the wrestling part of what convinced you that after your high school wrestling career that you weren't going to be able to become a John Bradshaw Layfield or a Road Dogg for that matter.
I found that I mean, I think I gave up on my wrestling dreams in 8th or 9th grade, and I signed up to join the football team. I was on the football team in 8th grade.
So that's the JBL
7th
influence
grade.
on you, right? That was the JBL influence. He influenced you to join the football team.
Yeah.
Forgive me, 7th grade I was on the wrestling team. I wanted to be like JBL, and then I was at a private school where we were like, we only had one team, but we were the B team. Basically, even though there's no A team, so we played B teams of other schools. Then we lost all our games too.
Called junior varsity.
No, it was below.
Oh,
There was like
below junior varsity.
there was like an extra level of just like, oh
well,
boy,
what position did you play? Linebacker?
I was center for some reason, and I forgot about this. And then in 8th grade, I joined the football team, and then after like 3 practices, I was like, this isn't. And then in 9th grade, I was like, maybe I'll do this. Then they told me about Hell Week, and I went to the orientation. They talked about Hell Week, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's a terrible thing. So
What were they going to do to you?
Well, you had to start like 2 weeks before school started or something, and I was like, that's not how summers work. And it was like early, and then it was like really grueling, and I was like, I'm Jewish. Happy Hanukkah. We don't do that stuff. We own the teams.
Yeah, amen. That's better anyway.
We don't play.
We write your checks.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Well, no, don't say we. You don't do that.
I'm sorry. I've tried to include myself in this.
Are you picking on Mr. Brisco because he's a Native American?
Yes. You know what? You're an honorary Jew. No, Mr. Brisco, happy Hanukkah to you.
Thank you very much. I discovered something. A lot of you Jewish young men like you are a little chunky, and I figured that out. My wife went to the grocery store and she brought home some cookies, and I looked at the cookies. There were SAR David Cookies with sprinkles on them. I got it now. They make you. Because you got an extra point on those cookies. Well, they have 5 points on our stars, and you got 6 points. So you get that extra calorie. So I ate the whole damn box, man. Thank you for that.
Did you do that for Hanukkah, Mr. Brisco?
I did it for Hanukkah. I did it. I was going to do it for one for each day of Hanukkah, but I couldn't resist it. They were so damn good.
We're nothing about love here on our show.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. And I'm honored that you picked me instead of Barry Horowitz for your Hanukkah episode. So
don't even mention Barry Horowitz. Horowitz, and I say that not because we don't like Barry. We like Barry.
We like Barry a lot, but he don't like us. He don't like us.
He don't like us. He said he'd do our show, and then he no-showed us. I think he's the only person ever no-showed us. So it's not that we don't like Barry. We do like Barry very much. I used to ride with Barry. I rode with Barry for almost a year. Me, Barry, Dutch.
You let him stay at your apartment for free, right?
That's true. In Athens, that's right. Down in
your publicist told me that.
Yeah, in Athens, Texas. He stayed with me for a whole Texas loop.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And thank you, sir. So did they make you guys ride together because you're the guys who look at the lights up in the sky after the matches are over?
That's not nice at all.
I think that's great, Dan. That's your funniest line on there so far.
He finally got funny.
Yeah. I told you, John, we'll just give him time. He'll get there.
Barry has become very particular. I've known follows him on social media because he wouldn't do our show. About was enhancement talent, not the J word.
I didn't call him. He's not Jewish.
Jobber.
I'm trying to keep up. I don't know. You guys are all over the place.
Okay, where were we with you, Taylor? Taylor, we're following your lead. You're the guest, so we just follow your
and
lead.
all this stuff your publicist.
That's what I was taught. That was what I was taught in Journalism 101.
So then I became a comedian. I started comedy in high school. I got into comedy in high school.
Okay,
I was a lifelong wrestling fan.
This is after your athletic career. You decide this is the comedy. Is that because of Jerry Lewis influence, or when did the Jerry Lewis influence come in?
Oh,
Jerry Lewis once told you that you were funny, right?
Wow, that's true. I have. If you look,
I had to dig deep to find that little bit.
What we do.
We do.
Well, you both did so much research. I love that you have these really specific questions I've never been asked in my life. And then JBL's like, "We're so good." You're like, he's like the hype. He's the hype man for your question.
Wait a minute. I read your entire volume of a publicist release.
Listen. So then,
you're not going to tell us about the Jerry Lewis incident?
This is probably like 7 years ago, maybe. I got to go see Jerry Lewis perform, and it was really interesting. I mean, not to be disrespectful we're not supposed to say mean things about people who passed away, but listen, he's iconic, brilliant talent, legendary, all the things and stuff. But so he did a show, and he was 93 years old, but like,
no wonder.
So he played videos on the show, and it was like the most brilliant comedy I've ever seen, evergreen, still perfect and funny today, from like the Colgate Comedy Hour from the 50s. It was amazing. And then when he would talk, he would just say something really racist. Like I can't repeat what the joke I'm thinking, like, and it'd just be like, oh, good Lord. Like, he doesn't get that you don't say that stuff anymore. But anyway, so and I got to meet him after the show. And he was really mean to the person in front of me, and like dismissive, because they said, "Hey, I'm a comedian, Mr. Lewis," and he's like, "All right, yeah." And then I went up to him and just said, "Hey, hello, I just want to say hi, I'm a comedian, whatever, too." And I was like, "Whatever, I want for it too." And he's like, "Yeah, I know who you are. You kept me up one night." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah. You're funny, whatever." And he's like, "You got the right look for a comedian. You look sick." And I was like, "Thank you." And it was like the coolest, like, I mean, in sincerity, like, the show business is hard, and then someone that like special gives you like shines some light on you, whatever, like, that fills up your soul for a long time. So that was really cool, even though he hates women and said like Lucille Ball never should have left the kitchen, that kind of stuff. But I mean, you can still appreciate a compliment.
Well, that's good. So you were inspired by Jerry, but you were older at that time. You weren't still the one of those. Tell us about when you won the talent contest. What, at your school, and what grades were you in, and what was the result of it? I'm just amazing with all this information. I'll tell you.
I never won a talent competition. I don't know where you got that one, but
your publicist is a liar then.
My publicist never saying you that. Can I tell you what happened before this show?
Sure.
This character, he goes, "Hey, send me some questions, really good questions for you, and then I'll look better than Bradshaw." That's what he told me. So
who's he? Who's he, pal?
I don't know, sir.
Did you say something in all caps?
Listen, so then I'm a comedian. I moved from San Diego to LA to stand-up comedy out here. I got some cool stuff early on. To be honest, like, I was very good for my age, but I got stuff because I was young. What
was your age at that time, Taylor?
I was 18 when I moved to LA, and then I got on Craig Ferguson's show when I was 20, and I got into Big Comedy Festival. And
whatever happened to Craig Ferguson?
He's been touring as he did his show forever. He hosted some other TV shows recently, and he's touring as a stand-up. He has a podcast, and he's selling TV shows and doing all that stuff. He's living in Scotland. Was you on
Craig Ferguson's show, John?
No, I've never been on Craig Ferguson's show.
Okay, I thought you were.
He has a new podcast. You should hit him up for real. I'll get you in touch for real.
I think he's great.
Yeah. But he's living in Scotland a lot. He's like rich and happy.
Yeah, he had the late night gig. I thought he did a great job, and then he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, but you know how it is. The way the media is now is I can be like, whatever happened to that guy? Oh, he has 10 million followers and he's making billions of dollars. You know, like we all keep track of who we keep track of. You know, but he hosted a show on ABC like a few years ago.
So
But
Johnny Carson was mean.
Can I tell you, I did like apparently he was like his kids didn't like him and he was mean to his wives. Everyone's doesn't that suck? Everyone, there's a lot of disappointing people that you admire. It's been hard for me not to get too real.
Have
But
you
the
met Road Dogg?
opposite. I met him. He was very nice to me.
Okay, so you met Road Dogg and me. Now, were we like what you thought we'd be?
I was about to say something really sincere and nice, and then you just blocked it.
No, I wasn't blocking it. I was just following up.
Way to go,
I was about
John.
to
Way
say
to go.
this.
Way
I
to
was
go,
about
John.
to say this. Like I watched you two growing up, and like you guys being kind to me means so much to me. But becoming your friends is so special to me. It's like the coolest thing ever. And like getting to having both of you at my. I mean, Brisco came to like a normal show, but you came to the special retirement thing I did like a hosting thing at. But it's such a joy to get to entertain people who entertain me my entire life and still do. So that's my 30 seconds of sincerity in this full interview. But it's really special to be here with you guys. Like so much respect to both of you, and it's great to be friends with you. That's all.
So tell us the lead up to America's Got Talent. How did you get on that show? I'm sure you had the curtain calls and all that stuff, but how did that come about?
So I was 10 years into comedy. I was 26, I think, and I was struggling. I never had a day job. In high school, I had a job for 3 years working at a mailboxes, etc. type place and that kind of thing. But since I was an adult, I never had a day job, and like that was for my ego. I liked saying that, but I was very, very poor. So I was like, I'm a professional comedian. It was like a big deal for me. You guys get it. But I was broke as fuck, and like that's not a healthy way to
We've
live.
been there. At least I've been there.
Yeah.
But not anymore. Now you live in Jurassic Park. If anyone's ever wonders what Mr. Briscoe's house looks like, have you seen the movie Jurassic Park? Well, his house is bigger than that.
Are you calling him a dinosaur?
That's not what I was implying, but that makes a lot of sense though.
What do you call it? You don't call it Jurassic Park. What do you call it?
Oh, excuse me, Gerald Astic Park. Is that what is it?
Something like that. Yeah, I'll go with that.
So listen, and his fans are called Gerald's Caholics, by the way.
Taylor, he's afraid to walk in some of my paths out here. I had Taylor as my guest out here one time, and I don't want to go. I can't see anything.
There's those. I'm positive you have those dinosaurs that spit out the venom, whatever those are called. So listen, so then
that or a banjo playing somewhere.
Which is scarier, by the way. I don't even know which one's. I genuinely think I'd be more scared if I saw some guy playing a banjo.
I would too.
So then I was very desperate and broke, and I don't have a college degree, and I've never had to apply for a real job as an adult, and I had no money for the first time, and I was very desperate. And so America's Got Talent, this guy I went to high school with, this guy Josh Sandoval, who loves you guys, by the way, and he was like, I thought he was a talent scout. He was just he was the low level social media guy. His job was to take pictures on his phone during auditions and tweet out whatever. Great job, but he was at the level 1 in the rankings of jobs and like entry level. And he was like, "Hey, I can get you an audition for America's Got Talent." I was like, I'm not doing that, because like when comedians went on that show, they would get booed, and the crowd is told to do the X thing, and like boo, they get booed off. It's like Showtime at the Apollo, and I couldn't. I was so vulnerable. That would have devastated me. Having Howie Mandel and Howard Stern tell me you're not funny would have destroyed me, literally to the point where maybe I would have quit comedy, because I couldn't handle it. But I got so desperate that I called up Josh and I was like, "Hey, how's that audition?" You know. So what he was able to do is I didn't get on these shows. It's not a secret. On TV, they present it like you just walk off the street and you're on the stage. No, there's a cattle call, ridiculous audition of thousands of not well people who gather in a convention center, and they wait in line to audition. So he was able to get me helped me skip hundreds of people, but I still had to do the audition nonsense.
So you cheated.
I cheated, but they offer those things to a lot of people. Like they have people who do that. So
hundreds of people cheat.
So other people cheat, and that makes it okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
I think so. Yeah. So,
go ahead. Go ahead, cheater.
So then I had to audition in front of one person and a camera. But I did Last Comic Standing for 2 episodes, so I knew the shtick of it. I got. They're not just looking for an act; they're looking for a character. So comedy in front of one person is terrible, and it's really this is one gatekeeper to get to the big gatekeepers, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna get laughs from this guy, so I just played my character. I was like, here's a joke. How was that? Is that good? Should I do it again? Oh my god, I don't know. I was just goofing.
What character was you?
I pretended I'm an.
Was you a JBL character, or was you being a wrestling character, or what? Or did you draw from that experience in creating this character?
That's a great question, and I want to
thank you. I'm full of them.
He's got all kinds of questions. He's good.
On this subject, though, can I tell you like how inspired I am by wrestling? I'm answering your question in a longer way. We'll get back to America's Got Talent. I am so hyper aware of how genius you guys are and how you evolve characters over the years and refresh yourself. And I don't have to explain to you like the Bradshaw, JBL, all the things, right? And Gerald Brisco. I mean, how many different things have you done? Like you're iconic in so many different ways. And I know you both have a million more I'm not mentioning. So I'm very aware, like in my career, that like just very recently, I'm like, I need to do a new thing, and like I feel like I'm in a new one right now. I don't have a word for it, but I'm very excited that for the first time in many years, I have like a new. I always think like that, and like Chris Jericho is so good at that too, like you guys are, of just like rebranding in a way. Anyways, so off topic, but I don't know what my character was. It was just like awkward, like please like me. I'm adorable, but I'm gonna say something really offensive. Watch this.
You were playing a young Jewish boy next door, is what you were.
Yeah, I guess. So I auditioned, and it went really well. And then there was 6 months between the pre-audition and then the actual audition, and the trepidation of then they call you up and they ask you questions like So I know they like me. They're like, hey, can you stay for 2 more hours? Then I go, oh no, am I in trouble? You know, like I just played like goofy. Like I know they like you if they want you to stay long, you know, stay around, and they film more stuff with you. Hey, go sit over here and act nervous okay, whatever, you know, reality TV. So then they call you up and they go, hey, so tell us about your family, because they want a storyline. It's not just about the act. Storyline is more important on the show, honestly, from my experience. And I get the shtick. I get it. And they go, tell us about your family. Oh, my parents got divorced. Oh, what do your parents do? Oh, my mom's an artist. My parents are divorced. Whatever. Oh, why? What does your dad do? Oh, he sells insurance, whatever. But I don't really talk to him. Why don't you talk to him? I don't know. My parents got divorced, whatever. Does that make you sad? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like normally you just kind of get the boundary that's set up. Oh, okay, we're not gonna talk about it. Do you miss him? Like, what would you say if you, I'm like, what? And like they're getting into all that, and because I realized they're like digging for a storyline, you know. And I'm just like, I don't want to give them a reason not to pick me. So I answered all the questions, and I was like, because I don't want to talk. I didn't want to get personal family stuff. It's just not for me at that time. I wanted to be with my comedy. I wanted to be a funny comedian guy. So then I called him up. I was like, I got bullied. That's some good stuff. We can talk about getting bullied, you know. So then we did the real audition. It went really well. And then after you get off, I got the standing ovation from the crowd or whatever. And then
how is a real audition compared to the preliminary?
So the real audition is in front of the judges and in front of the audience.
So that's where you had made the relationship with Heidi Fleiss.
Okay, sir. I've known you for like 6 years, 5 years. Heidi Fleiss is the hooker lady.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't know you. How close were you to the hooker lady?
No,
How
did you meet her?
Heidi Klum is the
Holy
supermodel.
Cow.
Heidi Klum is the supermodel. Heidi Fleiss is
she's hot. Heidi Klum's hot.
Heidi Klum's smoking hot.
Yeah,
Heidi Klum,
beautiful lady.
I've kissed her on the mouth multiple times.
And what did she? How did that come about? There's a story to that. You just came as a jabroni contestants usually can't walk up to one of the stars and kiss her on the mouth, but you did. You did.
I did.
Wow. Tell us something. Did she? How did she respond? Did
She
you
caused
feel the
it to happen.
Did you feel the goosebump come up her body and all that stuff?
She caused it to happen.
Well, yeah, she's gorgeous. Of course she. I mean, so how did she cause it to happen, Taylor?
So
is she a good kisser?
Did she tongue you? Did she tongue you?
She tongued you?
Listen, I don't.
Or was it just one of those generic Hollywood kisses?
I don't want to share. I mean,
I know there. Wow. You keep that on your phone, right? Does she? That's the picture that comes up when she calls you 9 times a day.
Listen,
she's 9 times a day.
9 times a day.
She's
Holy
married.
Cow.
She's a married woman now. She's married now. I'm trying to. I want to respect her and not talk about the past. You know, like she's not mine anymore.
What do you do to lose her, Taylor?
So anyways, I did the thing, and the inside thing on that is after you audition and you get the judges saying you go to the next round, whatever. It was like the most special moment ever.
How many weeks did you do this?
Can I answer one question before you ask me another question?
But you're
Does
so
he
good,
always do this, JBL?
You're so good, you just lead into another question.
Yeah, that's right. That's because you're so good. You're the greatest comedian ever.
So then, thank you. So then after you're done, you like relief, like, oh my God, I did it. Like, this is going to change my life. And then the lawyer comes up to you and goes, hey, just so you know, just because they told you you're going to the next round doesn't mean we're ever going to air your episode. So the goal on that show is just to get on TV once and have a credit and have a clip, you know? And, but then it was like a few months later, and you don't know if you're going to be on until like the day up. They have 6 weeks of audition episodes or whatever they do. And every week you're like, are they going to air me? Am I going to be a 10-second clip or am I going to be a 7-minute segment? You know, like you have no idea. And you're just like, are they going to show me for 10? And then I'll take 10 seconds over nothing. Hey, just checking in, you know? And one night I was on stage in Las Vegas, bombing, like these terrible Las Vegas crowds where I'm opening for like a lame comedian, like the bad. It's like these are the people who like got free passes because they lost some money in the casino. Like, here's some tickets to see this janky show, you know?
You were opening for a lame comedian.
Yeah.
Who was the lame comedian?
You can't ask those kind of questions, John.
Listen, I'm gonna ask you some dirt, and then if you share some dirt, I'll share some dirt, and we'll get into it. That's what they want. Controversy creates cash. I came up with that phrase.
Yeah.
So I was on stage. I invented that. Oh, I'm sorry. Bruce invented that. Bruce Pritchard said that, actually.
You're gonna get some heat now.
Oh, all kinds of heat.
So then,
he's in the operating room today while you're talking about him.
We wish him well. I wish him well, and we all wish him well. And so then, and he has beautiful dogs. And so then I'm on stage bombing. Then I look at my phone and I'm getting all this. Huh?
Daughter. He doesn't have beautiful daughters. He has daughter.
He has beautiful dogs. I said he also has a beautiful daughter and a beautiful.
Oh, they said daughters. Or
pay attention, John. Even I heard that with my hard of hearing.
You guys are all out to get me. I love Bruce.
And okay. I don't even have a device put in my ear now like Taylor does.
Bruce invented dogs, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did, but that's always good
cool.
to know. So yes, you got me drawn into America's Got Talent auditions.
So then anyway, so I'm on stage bombing in Las Vegas one night on a Tuesday, and then like the crowd hates me. And then
John's done that several times,
in Vegas.
In Vegas. And other towns across the world.
Answer one question. So then I look at my phone because I'm just like bombing. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I look at my phone. I'm getting all these text messages saying, "Oh my God, from East Coast, like you're on America's Got Talent. This is so amazing." And I'm just like so happy. I show the crowd. I'm like, "Do you see this? Like, I'm funny. Like things are going well. Like you guys are wrong." And then I got like the 7-minute segment, and like
they think maybe anything had to do with you bombing in Vegas, you checking your phone during the middle of your own set.
Have you never been in a match and then
check my phone?
Yeah,
on a house show.
I once called Doug Basham from a house show while I was doing my promo and had him talk to the crowd. I did. We were down in Alabama, and I called Doug. I said, "Doug, I'm actually doing my promo for the and I'm talking on the microphone." And Doug said curse words.
You say curse words?
Yeah.
Mr. Brisco, did you ever do that back in your day? Like,
absolutely not. I was serious. I was serious as I could be my entire career.
But back in the 70s, you didn't take out a cell phone and call somebody?
I took out my walkie-talkies. I took out the tin cans. You know, we used to have those tin cans with wire tied to them.
Who did you have grease a pole down in Florida?
What?
Eric Embry. What, right, Mr. Brisco, the grease the pole for the Battle Royal match?
Yeah, Eric Embry.
Yeah, Mr. Brisco's always been very serious.
Serious. So, John, we're listening to this great story.
It's a great story. You're checking your phone during your comedy.
You're bombing in Las Vegas.
For some reason, you're bombing while you're on your phone.
And that you're doing a warm-up act for a jabroni comedian.
Yeah, who was the comedian?
I don't know. I wish him well. I don't know. But then I got on the show. It went well. In the first live show. So then there's another show. And then the first live show is the third round. I go on stage, live TV, Radio City Music Hall. My first time on live TV. I'm so stressed out. I fought with the producers before because I had a joke where the punchline I say condom. I can tell you the joke if you want. And then at the last second, an hour before the show, they go, "You can't say condom." And I'm like, you can't tell a comedian to change his joke right before the show. I haven't tested this. Can you change the word to something else? I'm like, I can't change my punchline. It's like asking a wrestler to do the same finisher, but do it differently. I don't know if that analogy works. But you know what I mean? And like, I'm like, I do it this way. This is how it works. It's not a bad word. It's not a curse word. I've said the word on TV before, on the same network before. And it's not whatever. You want to hear the joke just to understand what I'm talking about?
Sure.
It's interesting. It's weird to tell a joke and whatever. But whatever the joke was like, it's great being here in New York City. Here's some things I learned through my experiences in New York City. I said, first, I learned that pretty girls on subways don't enjoy talking to really talented up-and-coming comedians. And then I learned when you're done using a condom, you're supposed to tie it in a knot and throw it on the sidewalk. And
that's funny.
Thank you. Then whatever, I list some things, right? So then I was like, I could say prophylactic. And then I go, no, that's not funny. Never mind. I can't do that. No. Then they come back and they go, the executive producer said you could say prophylactic. It's all good. I'm like, what? And he's like, you said you wanted to. I was like, yeah. Then 2 seconds later, I was like, no. He's like, well, I told him you said it. You're going to make me look bad. I'm like, what? But then this is the third round. And everyone has, all the contestants are like conspiracy, like the show's rigged. And producers.
It is.
Well, it is.
You didn't win, so it is rigged.
Exactly.
Correct. It isn't and it isn't.
I'll explain what we're saying is we're breaking the news officially. America's Got Talent is rigged.
No, I mean,
per Taylor Williamson.
Taylor Williamson said America's Got Talent is rigged.
Post that and that'll get the clickbait so people watch the show. So I just started eating because I thought you were going to talk more.
Why are you eating? You were using your phone during your set in Vegas. Now you're eating with us.
I'm trying not to faint. Listen. So then I was worried upsetting the producers would make me kicked off the show. So I went fine. That joke didn't work, but whatever. So then.
So you went through all this problem trying to get it cleared, and the joke bombed.
Well, the joke didn't work because I did it the way they asked me to.
Because you had to change the lines. Very good, Taylor.
I did what I was told because I'm scared of getting in trouble, and I don't want Vince McMahon of AGT to be upset with me. You know. So, what do you call it in wrestling? I didn't go into business for myself. You know. Yeah. So, because I was scared of whatever. So I do my set. It goes really well. The judges or the crowd loves it, standing ovation, whatever. And Heidi Klum goes, Howard Stern's like, you're great. Mel B's Scary Spices, like, I don't know, I like some, I don't like some. And then Howie Mandel says nice things. Then Heidi Klum goes, you were inappropriate, and I couldn't take my children to see you, and it was very upsetting to me, whatever. And the crowd booed her. I felt horrible because truly, like, I felt terrible all night. I felt horrible because, like, I've never been at that level of live TV thing. I don't know if you guys ever performed on live TV before, but it's a weird, it's a wild feeling. And I don't want. I'm just imagining parents covering their kids' ears and ruining their family night and whatever. And like, that's not my intention and whatever. And then, but but then I still got put through, and I ended up. So my next round, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a bunch of jokes to impress Heidi Klum that are quote kid friendly. So I took like PG-13, like kind of sex jokes adjacent. And
Hey Taylor, when you're on these shows, do you write your own material? Do they write the material, or how does that happen?
So thankfully, as a comedian, I already have like hours of jokes I've done. I was 10 years in at the time, so I have jokes to pick from. But it's still hard because I have to pick the right jokes. Not
or some of them funny.
No, you just heard two, and you heard two, and you guys laughed at once. So probably at 50% maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
That's not bad. Yeah. So I really have to. It's complicated because they're like, the idea is you have to do your best stuff every time, but then at the next round you have to be better than the last time. So it doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah,
so,
it does. Yeah, it does. Every night you got to be better.
Yeah, but
weren't you taught that? I mean, John was taught that by me and all the other old timers. Every night you can't live on the last. Every night you got to be better.
Well, no one taught. I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have a mentor.
Taylor, I feel so sorry for you. But you did well. But you did well for yourself. You got to be runner up because the show was fixed.
Yeah, America's Got Talent is fixed.
So the way it's not
like roller derby.
How dare you? So here's how it's fixed: is that it's not, but it's the first the way when I was on it, like the first two rounds are produced. So there's no live contestants. There's no public voting. So before the audience votes, they can decide who they want to show for 7 minutes, who they want to show for 10 seconds, who they want to shine a light on more or whatever, spotlight, pack.
Sort of like pro wrestling.
So yeah, they decided whatever. But then once it gets
so America's Got Talent's like pro wrestling.
It completely is. It totally is. No joke. It's literally like pro wrestling in so many ways. So, but then when the live shows happen, that's when it becomes a game show and like lawyers are involved and it's like super legit to the point where they don't mess around at all because they can still decide who's they're going to show at the beginning, who they're going to show at the end. Like that is a thing they can, so if they like someone more, but they can't fix it at all because they get sued because of the game show laws are so strict. Anyways, but anyway, so I got
a legal update.
I think it's interesting. So anyway, yeah. I got a whole shtick with Heidi. You know what? This is like wrestling. I got a storyline my whole season. If you go to my website or my YouTube, TaylorWilliamson.com and my YouTube, whatever, Taylor Comedy on the social media, whatever. But I have my whole AGT journey on my YouTube, and you can see like Heidi Klum gave me a storyline on a competition reality show. You don't get those, but I got a whole like. I'm a goofy guy trying to impress a supermodel storyline, and she gave me a career. If she had not, controversy creates cash. That me and Bruce Pritchard came up with that. If Heidi had just said you did great, I think you're funny, I would not have gone past that round because I got all the votes from people angry. Don't listen to Heidi. You're funny, whatever. Working. I think she was honestly. She's a funny person. She's a smart, funny person, and she was playing a character. And by the way, it's not good TV if all the judges go, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great. That's not good TV. And also, there's some brilliant comedians who have gone on that show, and they get the 4 yeses and standing ovation in that first live round, and they don't get past they don't get put through. Like, the judges works in the favor of...
So when did you start kissing her all the time?
So then, after I lost, I was on stage being sad, and then.
And by the way, I watched that last episode, and you beat the hell out of that foreign guy.
Jesus Christ!
So you really are the America's most funny. Did you know that, John? I mean, the other guy was an immigrant Nothing wrong with that. I mean, well, you guys are all immigrants in my eyes, but
That's fair. I lost to a Japanese dancer from Japan. It's kind of
so
like
you're the funniest American on America's Got Talent.
I'm the most talented American in America. Thank you.
Okay.
It's kind of like when JBL. It's kind of like when you lost to Funaki.
I didn't lose to Funaki, and I beat Godzilla in Tokyo.
Is that true?
Why'd you get hot? Why'd you get hot when he mentioned you lost to Funaki? I remember that night.
Because I used to go to Animal Hamaguchi's gym when Funaki was just breaking in, so that's like a sore point with me. Then he said he was a SmackDown's #1 announcer. Then he just said, and he said "indeed" all the time. So yeah, me and Funaki got old.
You know, that wasn't really him saying "indeed."
Really?
True.
Really?
Yeah, Funaki used to be like the young guy that worked at Animal Hamaguchi's gym in our Ueno station that we used to go to the gym. It was upstairs down by where the guys used to find things that weren't Gym Pacific.
What does that mean?
At Ueno station.
Ask him that, Taylor. So he'd get mad at me if I asked, but you're a guest. You won't.
What are you implying, sir? I don't understand. What are things? What are things at the gym that aren't at the gym? Like French fries? Like that's a weird thing at the gym.
Yeah, that is a weird thing at the gym.
Like it's not healthy. One, it's like they don't really have food at the gym. Two, it's like not healthy food.
So I come out of the gym one time, early in the morning, and Buddy Landell is there.
I can tell.
Now I can eat my breakfast.
He found the guys that sell things that probably aren't taxed and things like that. So Buddy's feeling pretty good. We're just out of the gym, and I said, "Mr. Briscoe's leaving because he's protesting." Apparently,
where's he going?
I don't know where he went. There he is back. So Buddy's feeling very good. I said, Buddy, and I didn't know if he'd been in Japan or not, but I said, Buddy, there's the world's biggest Shiite shrine at the end of that Ueno station down at the end, Animal Hamaguchi's gym over there. I said,
Buddy, what the hell is a Shiite?
Yeah, so Buddy was working the televangelist gimmick at the time. So he was like on TV, being a preacher. So we go to this big Shiite shrine at the end. There was a religious ceremony going on at the time, and Buddy interrupts the entire religious ceremony and starts explaining that the savior of his religion is risen from the tomb, and the person that in that religion is still buried, and that he has the true God. And it wasn't even noon. It wasn't even noon yet. We're in a religious almost battle. Over.
Your friends are bad people.
Buddy was a good guy. Buddy had some issues.
Buddy's a good guy.
Hi, baby. Butch Reed beat him up several times over running into his car. You ever hear the story, Mr. Briscoe?
No.
So Buddy, he used to always comb his hair. I mean, he combed it all the time. He would stop in like a department store window and just comb his hair. People be inside looking at stuff, just looking at this wrestler out there combing his hair. He combed it all the time. So Butch Reed buys a brand new either Lincoln or Cadillac. I'm not sure which one it was. Brand new fancy luxury car. And he looks up at a red light, and Buddy Landell is sitting there in the mirror combing his hair, and Buddy runs right into him. Wrecks his car. Butch Reed gets out and beats the little shit out of Buddy Landell. So a few nights later, they're at a bar, and Buddy's there, and Butch has had a little bit to drink, and they go, "Hey, Butch, remember when Buddy ran into your car? Butch went over and beat him up again." Yeah. Apparently, Butch beat him up like 2 or 3 times over the event.
I don't blame him. Never ran a brand new car. All right, Taylor, back to you.
Briscoe, you ever beat somebody up?
Never.
Good.
Wait.
Except Layfield and Bruce.
So Taylor, you're being funny.
Sorry, I got a notification from my Chick-fil-A app.
Wait a minute, you're checking your
phone. What did you get for free on the Chick-fil-A? Do you have a Chick-fil-A app, John? That's the greatest thing ever. Taylor introduced me to Chick-fil-A. You get free stuff from Chick-fil-A, man.
Really? I like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's great. We get free stuff from there, don't we, Taylor?
Yeah. If you get a Chick-fil-A app, I'll send you a free sandwich.
He did, me and my wife. He sent us free sandwich. He introduced us how generous Chick-fil-A is from Taylor.
So so
He's one of those high profile members. You know, you got to go and segments to get up to the top. He's all the way to the top, and I'm still way down here in the middle somewhere.
can I tell you what I did recently? This is an illegal thing I did. I'm not joking. I've never
Oh
told
well,
anyone
tell
out
us, tell
public.
us, and we want to know that.
This is
And don't worry about it being public. Nobody watches this.
Nobody watches. Just tell us whatever you want.
I trust you. This is real life, and I feel very guilty, and I feel like telling you is as close as I'm gonna get as a Jewish man to confession with a priest. So this is a real story. So on my Chick-fil-A app, I feel like my advertisement here for Chick-fil-A is making up for what I did, but I feel very bad, and I'm not the type of person to do this. But I ordered my food on the app for pickup, and there's a Chick-fil-A by my house, but it doesn't have drive-through, so I have to walk in like a hobo. You know, it's really embarrassing. So then, I order on the app, and it says ready to pick up. So I go inside, I grab my bags of food, and then I go home, and then I realize I stole 2 bags. I took an extra bag. I took someone else's bag of food.
I believe it.
And
That's
I went
illegal.
in there. I know I stole some, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to steal. I don't want someone else's food. I'm very picky. I want my food. I don't want like pickles on my food, whatever. And like I also have...
Well, I know you're related to Bruce Pritchard now because he hates pickles.
Yep.
Yeah. You just spilled a jar of pickles there.
Bingo.
Oh, boy. But I went in there with my daughter here.
Yeah, Betty Boop.
My daughter Betty. I walked in there, and like now I worry like I can't go back in, especially not with my dog in my arm, because they're probably like it's the tiny dog bandit. They probably have my sign up somewhere. They have a picture of me with my sunglasses on and my tiny dog. I feel terrible. I don't know if Mr. and Mrs. Chick-fil-A are listening.
So
you didn't take it back? You just stole it?
Don't worry, Taylor. We'll air this on Sunday, so they don't want on Sunday. So they'll never.
Thank you. Please, I expect you guys to protect me because you said I'd be safe. So honestly, I didn't go home. I went to my friend's house and I met my friends and I gave the extra. There was 2 sandwiches in the other bag and I gave it to my friend's boyfriend.
The stolen food.
Yeah.
Did you feel proud about that?
Well, I don't want as my Native American friend, you understand. He's from Texas. He doesn't care. But as my Native American, I don't want animals to go to waste. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
The animal died, and I wanted to be put in someone's stomach. It died. It was wrapped in fried chicken, wrapped in the fried stuff, whatever that's called. You know, that puts it around the chicken.
But didn't you steal the dead animal?
I did steal a dead animal.
So you're a cattle rustler. You're kind of like John. You're kind of like John. Skin folks. They were cattle rustlers.
Very similar.
Your kinfolk steal dead animals?
Yeah, not dead animals, but they made them dead after they stole them. They stole them live, then they deceased them.
My family has a very long history of incarceration and military service.
Oh, that's okay. It evens out.
That's the reason he was so nervous around your generals up there because he thought they could look him up.
That's probably why he changes his name so much. He's on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never change. You just change your first name. You change the spelling a bunch, Brisco. But this guy, like, what's his last name? Layfield, Bradshaw. No last name. Just call me wrestling guy.
And Blackjack.
Yep.
Black. Yeah, you're on the run. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
You weren't changing gimmicks.
Yeah.
You weren't being creative.
Sheik thought my name was Brad Shaw, 2 names. He met my dad one time. He goes, Mr. Shaw, your boy Brad is such a fine young man. My dad had no idea what he's talking about.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So Taylor, back to your career here. You did a lot after you were the Americans Got Talent Most Funny Guy. You went on tour.
Wait a minute. Isn't that kind of dishonest to have a Japanese dancer on there if it's America's Got Talent?
He wasn't a dancer, John. He was a comedian.
No, he was a dancer.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I apologize. Your publicist gave me bad information.
Your publicist sent us some bad info.
Oh, my bad.
So tell us. So what? In that kind of wow, is that? How can we trust this show?
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, the show has a lot of foreigners on it. And
But it's America's Got Talent.
yeah, I've been told that a lot by a lot of racist people at my shows. Like, and you guys are being
You
goofy,
calling
but
me and John racist?
We racist?
no, but you guys are
because
just being you guys are being goofy. But people come up to me at my shows. "Dude, I can't believe the Japanese guy won." I'm just like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I'm okay. We're okay. I get free lunches when I get.
Is he a nice guy? Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, he's my friend. Yeah.
Is it? You guys tour together?
Look him up, Kenichi Ebina. Like, look, I listen.
Kimchi. They sell that at Chinese food.
See, now that's actually now you're being racist.
I wrestled with Kim Duck.
Can't say nothing.
So, but look him up. Look up Kenichi AGT. He did a really cool shtick, and every few years it goes viral, like with 100 million views.
Did he ever team up with Kim Duck?
Yeah. Kim Duck got backdropped by Arnold in the fight scene in Russia by the sauna.
Is that true?
100%. It's on. Yeah, it's only in the movie. Arnold didn't know what to do, and he goes, "When you come at me, backdrop me." And Arnold goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, and he showed him, and literally Kim Duck takes a backdrop in a movie fight scene.
That's
into
so
a pile
cool.
of snow. Yeah.
You guys got to get Arnold on this show.
Oh, we'd love to have Arnold.
Yeah, have your publicist contact him for us.
Yeah, have your publicist. I worked for Otto's childhood buddy in his hometown. I worked for Otto Vance, and I lived in Graz.
Really? Honestly,
big
DM
Arnold
him.
fan.
Can I tell you something I've learned in this business is people see DMs, especially from like fancy people like you. Like, I'm sure he has people, but I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm learning like a lot of people are available if you just ask,
When he came to the Staples Center, he was the nicest celebrity I think we ever had come around. He was the biggest star in Hollywood, and he had his kids with him, and he would sit there and humbly and politely ask, "Can my kids take a picture with, the different stars, and everything?" It was like, "You're Arnold." People wanted to talk to him, and he was the one. He was, I think, the nicest, most humble star we ever had. He was the biggest star in the world at the time. Still is. He's Arnold.
But sir, I've gotten to be a guest backstage at the Staples Center.
Yeah, you were second.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what Bruce did?
Tell us what Bruce did. Any dirt on Bruce is welcome.
So this is what Bruce did to me, and so I realized this is first world problems to your wonderful listeners, who are also big wrestling fans. I said, "Hey Bruce, I saw you doing the it was like the SmackDown moving to Fox, and it's a big show in LA. It was a big deal, And I was like, "Can I get in that?" And then he's like, "Hit up this person." Then they didn't write back to me. But then he goes, "I got you tickets to Bakersfield." And I'm like, "What?" So I had to drive like 2.5 hours to like maybe the worst city on the planet.
It's hot. It's hot in Bakersfield.
It's hot. There's a lot of meth. It's just not an ideal.
Buck Owens.
Merle Haggard, Buck Owens.
Really?
The Crystal Palace, man. Greatest place on earth.
Who was the guy that Dwight Yoakam?
Yeah.
I think Kevin McCarthy's from there. It's not. I don't know. There's some. It's a weird place. But so then, anyways,
You're comparing Buck Owens to Kevin McCarthy.
My bad. That was terrible, and I apologize. So, anyways, but I got to go, and it was really cool. Bruce got me front. My dream / worst nightmare is I got to be front row at a I believe it was Raw in Bakersfield, Raw anywhere.
Was that a nightmare?
I'll tell you.
Okay, tell us. I'm asking.
So I'm not normally like I'm so like listen, get to be friends with you guys and get to become friends with all you wrestlers is top 3 coolest things. I mean, the one I can't think of other things that are cooler for me as a child of wrestling fans. Get to be friends and like I get to be hooked up and come be a guest at wrestling shows. And normally what they do to like friends and family, you're on the what do you call it? The camera
hard cam.
So that the audience
opposite hard cam.
Right. So the audience doesn't see you and you can just be a fan and enjoy yourself, whatever. But Bruce put me like front row where I'm seen on TV and like I was so stressed out because I'm a performer, but I'm not a good audience member. And
Did you comb your hair that night?
How dare you? Listen, I'm working with what I got, and you're not one to talk, okay?
What is that for? All he asks is you comb your hair and you take a vicious shot at him.
Then you call me bald.
That is so mean.
We're on the same. We're on the same journey, okay?
Were you checking your phone while you're on Raw?
Well, that's the thing. Like, so at a comedy show, I never want to be in the front row because I get what it's like to be a performer and see someone in the front row be like, you know, like not showing the love and appreciation. I know how hard you work as a performer. I know what goes into being an entertainer. I know what a shitty audience member is. And like, don't sit in the front row if you're going to be a shitty audience member. I get it. So my childhood dream / worst nightmare is I get to be in the front row of a wrestling show on live TV. So I'm just like smiling the whole time. It's like, and it's a 3-hour show plus the taping, the other stuff. It's exhausting to try to be a good. I bet I worked harder than most of the wrestlers that night.
Was JBL on that show?
No. This was a few years ago. He's a SmackDown guy.
Oh, he's SmackDown. Okay.
Pay attention. Know the product.
Well, you know, back in those days, you worked both shows. Back in John's day.
Maybe that's true. But this
I didn't know what time frame because Pritchard has been there for 57 years.
57. This is 57th year.
Yeah, and so it could have been.
His brother's a doctor.
Dr. Tom. Now he's a good doctor too.
I rode Dr. Tom too.
I did too. I let Dr. Tom drive me. I was a brave man.
Horrible.
The Pritchard, the Texans in general, are horrible drivers.
Tom Pritchard is the worst driver in the history of the automobile.
And Bruce is right behind him.
Yep. Checking your Chipotle ads on your phone? What are you doing?
What are you getting? A free Chick-fil-A?
No, I have a joke to tell, but I need to do some research for it. Ready?
Okay. And what will you research?
I'm gonna list all the wrestlers that JBL would ride with. Okay.
Okay.
So he rode with Barry Horowitz, and he rode with Dr. Tom, Iron Mike Sharp, Salvatore Bellomo. Brooklyn Brawler. Brooklyn Brawler.
You rode with Brooklyn Brawler?
No, I never rode. He's listing all the jizz off.
SD Jones. Do you get the SD Jones?
Nathan Jones too.
Lanny Poffo, rest in peace. Reno Riggins. You get the joke, right?
Not really.
I'm listing the guys who look at the lights at the end of the match.
Now you're offending a lot of people there, Taylor.
You are offending a lot of people.
We didn't bring you on the show to offend our guests or our people.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get beat up. But you know what? Actually, Brisco, you get this. I need some attention right now in my career. I'm trying to spice up my career. My career is on a good track right now for the first time in a long time, and I'm trying to like spice it up. And Gerald, tell them how you've been trying to help me out with that when I come to Texas.
Oh, John, you'll love this. I mean, you know, he was in one of those situations, a point in his career where he needed something big to happen to him. And let's face it, his comedy act just wasn't getting funny. You know, it wasn't getting over. So I said, okay.
His comedy act wasn't working, so he needed something to
let's come up with something that'll get you all this press.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my neighbor down the road, Carol Bascom, they got all this press over, killing somebody and letting the tigers eat them or whatever, So, and then my other neighbor out there, Joe Exotic out in Oklahoma out there, did all the meth and everything. So, I got a good relationship with those type of people. So he was going to play in Texas. Where else better to get publicity? I mean, JFK got shot there, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
He's still famous. 60 years later, he's still famous.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still famous. For what? Getting shot. He got shot, so he's still famous. Every year we celebrate him. November
People take
23rd.
pictures where he got shot.
Yeah, I've been there. I even went down there and walked along the path with him. So John, I said, Taylor, you're in Texas. I got some friends down there that we can get you a lot of publicity. You could tell one of your Texas jokes down there and it don't get old. I'll have this drunk Texan get up and shoot you. I said, well, he shoot you in the leg. It'll just be he's a good shot. He's a good aimer. It won't be a fatal shot or anything like that. We'll shoot you in the leg and we'll graze your calf muscle. And then I saw his leg, and then there'll be a Taylor Williamson comedian shot over a racist joke or something like that. He'll be on Entertainment Tonight. He'll be on Storage with Brisco and Bradshaw. He'll be on all these great slots across the entire world. Let's face it. And oh no, I can't do that. Taylor, you want a shot to your career?
What a great idea! That is just a terrific idea.
Yeah,
and you could help me out with that. He's scheduled to go.
I got tons of buddies down here.
He's scheduled, and they're not great shots, right? They can aim and they hit his.
Oh, I got buddies who are great shots. They'll just wound you.
Yeah, they'll break him down. It'll just be a flesh wound, as we call it.
Yeah. They'll just wound you.
Yeah. And then he'll be on every major show in the world.
What's really sad about this is
when you're going back to Texas. When you're going back to Texas,
I'll get buddies lined up to shoot you.
I am going on tour. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about your pattern. When you're on tour, do you get famous people coming to your, besides John and myself, do you get famous people coming to your performances?
How do you know this?
Taylor, you're up in Canada, and you had one of Canadians' most famous citizens come in. How did that go?
I don't know. This research you're doing is wild. So
we do.
Several years ago, I was performing in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And then I post on Facebook, I'm performing in Calgary, Alberta, Canada at the Laugh Shop Comedy Club, which I'll be at in January.
We just got them a good plug there.
Tickets available.
Huge
Calgary,
plug.
Canada. So I post, I'm going to be at the Laugh Shop in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And someone please tell Bret the Hitman Hart to come to my show. That's all. And then day of my show, I pretend like I don't look at my social media, because I'm a big Hollywood celebrity, but I take a look, If anyone messages me, I probably won't back because I have a team of people that do that.
You got like a 2-day dead time that you can.
I have a filter system, and they only show me what I need to see, and but
your publicist does a good job.
A publicist,
great.
Assistant. Thank you. She is wonderful, and unlike Jerry Lewis, I think women should be allowed to work. But whatever. But so then, he was a great comedian, and rest in peace. So then I post. Someone tell, hey man, come to my show. Whatever. I'm joking because I don't think whatever. And then someone posted on my Facebook, I'm here with the Hitman, and I'm like, what? Yeah, right. Whatever. And then I get to the show, and then someone's like, Bret the Hitman Hart is here. I'm like, what? And then he's there, and then the first comedian, what a jabroni piece of garbage. Like the other guy did. This guy's a piece of garbage. So disrespectful. So you see, this is someone special in the crowd. I mean, everyone's special, but someone super special. You leave them alone. But this guy spends also you're an opening act. The show is not about you. Your job is to do a good job and don't cause problems, and then leave stuff for the headliner. So he was just. Oh, Bret Hart is here. Bret Hart. He was so.
Wait, how did he know? Did you go around backstage saying, "Hey, Bret Hart came to my comedy show"?
I'm sure he did. That piece of garbage. I want to fight this guy. I really don't for someone I could go off on this guy. I would. I don't want to give him the attention. That's how much I dislike this. The other guy, you can convince me to say something.
Yeah, if we set up a one-on-one on this show, will you do it for us?
Maybe. This guy's such a creep. I could go off on what a piece of garbage this guy is, and it's not just I don't think he's funny. He's a jerk and mean person. And
he's your opening act.
I didn't pick him. He's the only time in 15 years I ever tried to have someone kicked off a show. I will put up with a lot, but he was so unful on so many levels, whatever. But we've all had that. But but he's like Bret Hart, Bret Hart. Someone he must have seen that he was there beforehand, and then but he was like leave the guy alone, whatever. But anyways, the positive part of it is after the show I do my meet and greet. Bret Hart is in line in my meet and greet. He comes up to me. Bret Hart knows what to do. I'm an adult man, but he knows I am now a 6-year-old boy, right? And Bret the Hitman Hart is in front of me. He has sunglasses. He has his Bret the Hitman Hart sunglasses. And then they're in a thing, and he's like, here. He's like, do you want me to sign it for you? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not gonna ask. He knows what to do. And then he puts them on me, and I'm just like, I could cry. I could just, I did it. He was so sweet and so kind, and like it's just so special when people like that and like you guys do stuff all day, you know. But you know what it means to people, and like it's got to be funny. Like you guys have been such legends for so long that you have like 40-year-old men coming up to you like acting like 6-year-olds. You know what I'm sure is annoying at some point, but it's really special what you guys can do for people. And I mean, I'm 37 now, but like for the first time, like it's starting to happen more now because I did America's Got Talent 10 years ago. So like I'm getting like 22-year-olds coming up to me like, I watched you when I was a kid. I'm like, what? You know, or like people in the third, whatever. But people are saying I watched you as a kid, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like I'm 900 years old, you know. Anyways, but Bret Hart came in. That was really cool.
Is he the guy? Is he the guy you took to Hooters? Do they have Hooters in Canada?
No,
you know what? You took some famous celebrity. Your publicist said it did name to a Hooters at a show. And what happened there?
So I did the roast of Bruce Pritchard, and that was really cool. That was a very special, goofy day of my life. And
John refused to come to that show because you were doing the writing.
Yeah, I said that I'm drawing the line somewhere.
Yeah.
So what happened is, oh no, forgive me. I have to make sure my thing is plugged in. I'm so sorry. Hold on. This is something.
You're right in the middle of answering a question.
I know. Hold on.
This
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Put Betty on the camera at least.
What in the world has just happened, Mr. Brisco?
Oh, well, I guess we just pissed him off or something. You know, Taylor's like that. He's a real sensitive guy. You know. So.
I didn't know he was so sensitive. I thought he just.
Yeah, he's a very sensitive young man.
You gotta listen.
He couldn't say anything about his titanium head.
Excuse me?
No, your titanium head. I wasn't going to say anything about your titanium head. So Mr. Brisco said you're sensitive.
About my handicap?
Yeah, it's not a handicap. It's like a badge of honor.
Be proud.
Be proud. Be proud of your wounds and scars.
So then, what was I saying? So I got to the roast of Bruce Pritchard. That was so special and bizarre. What a bizarre day of my life. I show up to the roast with, this is getting to the Hooter story, but I think it's worth sharing. So Conrad set that up, obviously. I never met Bruce.
Did you know Conrad before this?
I'm honestly trying to think. I mean, we're social media friends, I'm sure. You know what? I don't think I'd met Conrad before. My buddy Brian Wittenstein, who he reps Cody and Jade Cargill, and he reps a whole bunch of wrestlers for stuff. And
hey, how about me?
And he repped you for a deal too.
For a deal, yeah. One deal, yeah.
Yeah, so he set me up with this thing. It was very kind of him, and that's how I got into all this stuff. And so I spent weeks writing roast jokes for this thing. Like I treated
2 weeks.
Like,
that was 2 weeks of work.
How dare you? You can find it on YouTube or podcast, The Roast of Bruce Pritchard. And so it was Gerald Brisco, the great, rest in peace, Pat Patterson, X-Pac, Jeff Jarrett, Brutus Beefcake, Eric Bischoff, and I might be leaving somebody out. But so I spent weeks writing all these jokes, whatever. And then I just happened to get there early, and I'm just like, hey, I'm here, whatever. And then I'm hanging out in this room, and then like, who comes in? Like, all these, Jeff Jarrett comes in, Bruce Pritchard comes in, and then eventually I'm hanging out with Gerald and Pat and all these guys, X-Pac, whatever. Nobody had jokes written because no one told them to write jokes. They were all under the impression that someone's going to hand them jokes.
We were told we don't need to come up with we have professionals doing this.
Some of them didn't know what a roast was. I did. I
was expected to eat a roast.
It was really wild. So I'm like, I accidentally became a guy. It was like a writer's room trying to write jokes for people, and then Karen Jarrett cut a promo on me, but I didn't know. She started yelling at me randomly, and I was like, what the hell is happening? I was like terrified. And then she started laughing, and I was like, that's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Someone told her to do that because they thought it'd be funny. She's very funny and cool. That was the scariest moment of my life. And then so I'm writing jokes I'm getting to help Brisco and Pat Patterson and all these people write jokes. And then Bruce I show him all that, because as a roaster, you write jokes for each person, right? But they don't have to be from my point of view. Like, so Bruce goes, I like that joke. I want that one. I gave him half my joke.
Wait a minute, is that how he sounds?
Yeah, he's like, I'm Bruce Pritchard. I'm from somewhere in the South somewhere.
It's called Texas.
Yeah, so you're making fun of Southern people
at the Texas accent.
He's like, I'm from Texas. Right?
Right.
You talk like a gentleman. He doesn't. But so Bruce stole all my, and by the way, he gave the worst delivery. I gave him my best jokes, and he ruined all of them. So if you listen to the roast of Bruce Pritchard, you're like, Taylor gave him bad jokes. No, they were good jokes, but Bruce didn't deliver them right. But listen, so then what's the point? So I did the roast of Bruce Pritchard. It was really fun and special. But let's be honest, a lot of wrestlers are goofballs, you know, and they've experienced a lot of things, you know, so I was able to write a lot of crazy jokes for everyone. But there's one person who was very hard to write for. Can you guess who that was? This guy. I can only think of one roast joke for Gerald Brisco.
John, that's when he said, you're a very boring person.
Wow.
He labeled me right to my face. He said, you're a very boring person.
That's
that wasn't
a terrible
that day.
thing to say.
Yeah,
I was respectful that day. The only joke I had on Gerald was that
he was one of the greatest amateur wrestlers of all time. He's in the All Century Club at Oklahoma State, and then he becomes a stooge and draws some of the greatest ratings of all times. This man has diversity like no one we've ever seen, and you're saying he's boring?
Yeah,
no, he's boring. He's never tried to kill somebody. He's never lit anyone on fire. He's never he doesn't have 12 DUIs. He's never killed anybody. He's never.
That's because the police know him in Florida.
You know what? You're right. He's never been caught. That's what happened. That's the thing with Gerald is he's never been caught. That's his problem.
No, he's never been prosecuted.
Yeah.
You know what? All the bad things he did were before newspapers existed, so there's no public record of all of his incidents, right?
Yeah. All we had was smoke signals back in the wind.
So you're blaming the people you're writing for. You say Mitchell Briscoe's boring and Bruce delivered your lines bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're blaming everybody else.
No, I did great. I did a good job. So then Gerald was really sweet to me, and Pat was so sweet, and everyone was really kind, honestly. And then Eric Bischoff was very intimidating, honestly. He was a gentleman, but he was very how are you? And I'm just like, okay, because again, I'm looking for a father figure in everybody. That's why I want to be my dad. I'd be like, hey Taylor, wow, you liked wrestling.
Bruce was your dad.
Bruce. I want everyone except for Bruce to be my dad. Basically, that's really how I live my life.
That's a terrible thing to say. He's having surgery today.
I know, and I wish him well. So then, Gerald, if any of you ever meet a wrestler, let me give you a tip. They will all hang out with you if you take them to lunch. So I said, hey, Mr. Brisco, I'm coming to Tampa. And then we went to Tampa. We went to Hooters. By the way, Hooters was his choice. You wrestlers are all creepy guys who just want to go to Hooters. I'd never been to Hooters in my life. I thought it's like a joke that people go to Hooters. And then we went, and of course he left his wallet at home. You know,
so honest mistake.
Honest mistake. Yeah, it happens.
Bruce does every time too. It's pretty interesting how that works.
Honest mistake.
Yeah.
I'm like, Bruce, you just came from Raw, and we're having a dinner 3 blocks away, and
well, I don't know. I came and picked you up in my beautiful pickup truck and drove you to.
True.
And your hotel was so cheap; it was out in the middle of nowhere, and the only damn eating place happened to be a Hooters a couple of miles away. So, rather than driving 50 miles out of town and 50 miles back into town, where it probably made you late for your gig, I chose someplace convenient for you, not for me. I didn't want to go there.
That's very nice. Very
but
nice.
out of the kindness of my heart, I could have said, yeah, let's go to a steakhouse. But no, we went to a chicken place. What do you got for chickens? You go to Chick-fil-A all the time.
It's an owl place.
What a good guy.
Yeah.
It's not a chicken place. It's an owl place.
Okay, owl. Well, they're foul.
Yep.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay.
Fair.
So what happened? So
we had lunch. It was a great time, and I've been on dates with both of you. I took you to a fancy.
Did you buy with
thing.
John? Did you have to pay with John?
But they paid. But that's still a good date.
Who paid?
The
John didn't pay. Let me get this clear now. John didn't pay, right?
No, I don't know who paid it. The taxpayers paid. I don't know how that works. It was like
I paid. I paid for that one because the taxpayers paid. I got my bill, and it had that.
You paid for our date, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got to do that, and then we've talked like 3 hours a day every day since. Right?
Is that bad?
Mrs. Briscoe says that we're your two best friends.
We
went to Disney. Who am I talking to? Who's Mrs.
I don't know. You're talking to me or John?
We went to Disney World. Me and
Me and Miss Briscoe
and the Briscoes
and your guests.
And our guests. It was a lovely time.
Hey, John, we had a great time at Disney World. Taylor baited me with saying I was going to get to meet a newborn giraffe or something like that. Wasn't it a giraffe? A newborn?
I said you were going to meet a giraffe, but we didn't get to meet a giraffe. But what did we meet instead?
Some type of inbred animal.
It was a beautiful. Why would you have him meet an inbred animal?
Yeah. He's real proud of it, too. He said a lot of people don't get to see this animal.
Why would you be proud of that?
It was a beautiful, what was it called?
I can't, Ocelot.
No.
It was between a giraffe and a hippopotamus.
Okapi.
Okapi. You ever seen an okapi, John?
No.
See, I have.
Well.
And they're nice. They're nice. Yeah, I got to pet the little okapi and everything.
You hang out with me, I take you special places. Yeah. That's what happens.
And then we got to get on a Jeep and ride around in a circle in this little corral. They had giraffes and ostriches and all different types of animals. And then the common people waving at us from the outside. But we weren't common people that night. We were in a big fancy safari Jeep.
And can I tell you?
Thanks to Taylor.
And can I tell you?
His movie star girlfriend at the time.
So we took her wonderful special friends who are big shot lawyers who do so much for the world for women who have been in bad situations and people.
Yeah, she put who did she put in jail? Bill Cosby, comedian, in jail. She put
so these are like really hot shot special people, and so it was them and their beautiful kids. And,
they were wonderful people.
But let me tell you, this guy, he's like
Nicky's his name, right?
Yeah. So this guy is an adult with 2 kids. I don't know, 40s, 50s. I don't know. He's probably in his 40s. I don't know. So this was outside Disney World as part of the Animal Kingdom, but they had tickets to go inside to go to Disney World after we did this event. But the dad asked, "Can I stay behind and hang out with Gerald Briscoe?" The wife took the kids into Disney World, and he hung out with Gerald Briscoe because that was
now she wants to put me in jail.
But doesn't that make you feel special that you're his Disney World? He flew to Orlando on a layover, and he would rather spend time with you than Mickey Mouse.
Well, who wouldn't?
I agree. And then you know what Mr. Briscoe did? He went to Philadelphia for one of the, what do you call it? The signings? What do you call it? Card show?
Card shows, yeah.
Is that what you call it, JBL?
Yeah.
A card show?
Sure.
Memorabilia. So.
And he took these kids. I just got the pictures from him. He's like, had a great time. And like his kids are being choked out by like, the pictures are insane. These like little kids, and like this, like they got to meet like all the legends. Like who is, I don't know, Jake the Snake Robert. It's just like headlock. These sweet kids are like in headlocks and pretending to hit people with 2x4s. I'm like, that mom's not gonna like these pictures, but these kids are super lucky. It was really cool. He's a good guy. You're both good people.
So Taylor, that was a great night. But what are you doing now? You sent me a link the other day, and I watched this link, and I laughed for a good 2 hours, and I think it was 3 hours. I think it was a 3 hour long show, but I laughed for at least 2 hours.
Wow.
But tell us a little bit about what's in Taylor Williamson's bag now.
Oh, I'm so honored. Thank you. Why don't I send you the press release? I should have sent this before.
You're a publicist?
Yeah. Gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna send this press release to JBL, and this is gonna take a second. This might not be worth it. But listen, I have a comedy special that I just released last week, and I filmed it at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, California, where Mr. Briscoe's been. Have you ever been there, JBL?
I've not been there, no.
It's like
you would love it. And the people were great there too. Who were some of the people I met there? Heath Coat, that dog, or what?
Yeah, you met the guy. A lot of when he came down, all the comedians wanted to meet him. And anyways, it's like the Korakuen Hall of or Madison Square Garden of comedy. Like, so I got to film a comedy special there, and it came out last week on YouTube. It's funny how the industry changes. Like this show's on YouTube. A lot of comedians they're skipping Netflix, they're skipping HBO, whatever. They're going straight to YouTube because it's free and it's seen around the world. And I just released a special called Taylor Williamson Live at the Comedy Store. It's the best act I've ever done. I'm so proud of it. I just sent you the press release if you'd like to read it, how great it is.
John, would you do the honor and read the press release?
Read it on air?
I think it's important so people know what a great
John's a professional. That after reading, you notice how I turned it over to the professional because he can read.
America's Got Talent. That's where you're on with Heidi Fleiss, right? Sensational runner-up season 8. Taylor Williamson returns to the stage where his comedic journey began at age 17 in the new special Taylor Williamson. He named it after himself, obviously. Live.
Stick to the script.
At the Comedy Store with his awkward charm and razor-sharp observations. Taylor explores a wide array of topics, from hoarders to dating, from anti-vaxxers to being Jewish, all filtered through his uniquely absurdist lens. One out just in time. It says for Chanukah. I promise you it does. I'm not kidding you. It says Chanukah. It says Chanukah.
It does.
Sir,
it says Chanukah.
It's pronounced cha. It's pronounced cha.
No, I swear it says.
I see that, sir, but there's two spellings
for it. You got it
misspelled.
Sir.
Well, it's like Jerry Briscoe.
You're in Texas, John. You're in Texas. You can't say those fancy foreign words.
Jerry Briscoe spelled with a J or a G. Hanukkah spelled with an H or a cha.
So
the point is, thank you for saying that, because now I can put that in quotations and I can put John Bradshaw Layfield because you said it. Thank you.
Live at the Comedy Store is the hilarious gift America needs.
Wow.
Thank you. Did your publicist write that?
I think it's a quote from JBL. I'm going to put that on my internet. Thank you, sir.
Anything else you want us to read about you?
I mean, that's good for today, I think. But can I tell you seriously? I'm more proud of this thing than anything I've ever put out. It's my WrestleMania. I'm so proud of it. It'd mean the world to me if people check it out. And if you like it, please share with your friends. Go to YouTube, type in Taylor Williamson Live at the Comedy Store. I'm getting rave reviews. It's a very obnoxious thing to say, but it's going really well. I'm really proud of it. And it'd mean the world if you watch it and share with your friends and family and coworkers. And
it's good, believe me. Please do all that.
When you put it out on YouTube, how does it change? It changed as far as how people see it. They see it for free. Is it monetized on YouTube? Do you get ad sales, things like that you make money off of YouTube?
Yeah. So honestly, the way the comedy industry has changed is very much like how music is going now, where it's like, listen, here's my album for free. Do me a favor, come see me live. And it's changing my life. I'm getting so much work now. Can I tell you something? This business is very hard for me. It's been very hard for everyone, right? So I had a lot of stuff in the works. COVID happened. It derailed me so hard. I want to talk to you about stuff I had going on too. And like it's been hard bouncing back. Me and Gerald helped me during COVID. We leaned on each other. We made these Briscoe's big announcement videos that were so much fun that people saw on Twitter.
Wait,
still waiting.
wait,
still waiting.
You're behind those?
I mean, never mind. But I saw.
Thanks, Taylor. Thanks,
Wait a minute. Those weren't Mr. Briscoe. Do it. Wait a minute.
No, I'm taking credit. I apologize. I lied to you guys, and I was taking credit. He did them himself, and I apologize.
On the trip to Hooters, if you're going to go to, that's where it all started. To you had me sit on the back of my old Ford truck like an old hillbilly, and tell people stories.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gerald runs his social media exclusively, and anyways, whatever. But
so when there's something like pretty funny that seems a little bit out of character, that's not just Mr. Briscoe on some different meds.
No, it's him he forgot to take his medication. That's what it is. That's why that's when he says I need to take my medication. It's not I want to. It's I need to. But anyways, but he gave me some good advice during COVID because I'm sad. My career was taken away. I haven't worked in a year. I had a whole bunch of cool stuff in the works.
I hurt his feelings, in other words.
Do you remember what you said?
Get off your ass and go to work. Something like that.
Yeah, I was like, good Lord. But like I did that and I self-financed this comedy special and I bet on myself and and it's working good. I'm getting to go on all the major podcasts. I'm on your show. It's so special to me. Like, and people, I'm asking, and I'm getting all this love from my community. And I have a bigger tour now. I'm touring more in 2024. I have more dates booked than I have since COVID combined. And it's thanks to people like you guys believing in me and encouraging me. And JBL, you tweet something really sweet about me. It meant so much to me. I know you're mean a lot, but you're really sweet sometimes, dude, and it's so special to me. And but I'm filled with love and joy, and it's confusing because I started this business where you're supposed to pretend you're Mick Jagger and you act like everything's great all the time, and you just I'm famous. Look at this, I'm famous. Look, you just put it out there. I'm a superstar, you know. But people want you to be vulnerable and share, hey, Mike. Netflix said no, so hey, support me, but also do me a favor, but also this is the best art I've ever done. It's the best work I've ever done, and it's something you're gonna enjoy. So the favor is, the exchange is, I'm not asking for money. I might get money if 10 million people watch the commercial before it airs, you know. But the exchange is, please share with your friends. And
if they want to send money, they can, right?
Yeah, if you want to send me money, send me some money. Taylor Comedy, Venmo, whatever. But I'm just full of gratitude and joy, and I'm coming to Tampa. I'm coming to I have a whole tour on my website. I'll be in Oklahoma and Tulsa, Oklahoma City,
Texas, where we're going to do the gimmick.
I'm sure I'll be back in Texas.
We're gonna have
soon.
You shot down here.
You can help me set that up, right?
Oh yeah, I got 10 guys off the top of my head that'll do it.
I'm scared to yes and this joke because Texas is by the way, best crowd. Some of the best crowds in the country.
Well, you're knocking Texas now. You really want to get shot now, right?
Can I tell you the one time I had a heckler who I was goofing back with, and they realized they're not goofing back with me by having a gun in their pocket? It was in Kansas City.
That's close to Texas.
It's close. He should have had him shoot you.
So, do you want to know what cities I'm coming to?
Of course we do. Please tell us. Taylor, where are you touring this year?
I'm going to. I wish we had music playing. Can you sing a song can you just hum some music while I'm doing the tour dates, Gerald? Can you hum? You just make violin noise. Okay, hum a song. Okay, Louisville, Kentucky, Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is the worst music I've ever heard in my life. Wesley Chapel, Florida. You better be there.
Side splitters.
Yep, Tempe, Arizona, Irvine, Keystone, Colorado, Appleton, Wisconsin, Spokane, Tacoma, LA, whatever. So my website, social media.
Where's Texas? Where's Texas?
I was just in San Antonio. Had a wonderful time. Performed for some Air Force veterans and current service people.
They could shoot you at the Alamo.
That's what I told him. That'd be even bigger.
Look what it did for Pee Wee's bike.
Look what it did for Sam Houston.
That's right. We got a big statue of him now, right on I-45.
Can I tell you what I was about to do before COVID?
Tell us.
I was signed up to. So can I tell you, Stephanie McMahon was a supporter of mine. She was so sweet and so encouraging to me. Bruce was very sweet and so encouraging to me.
Bruce who?
Bruce Valanche from Hollywood Squares. Remember that guy? He had the beard.
Yeah, he was good. Nice guy.
So then, anyways, I got connected with Fox Sports, and they had that show. This is end of 2019, early 2020. They had that show. It was WWE Backstage, right? That was like were you on that show at all?
I was on it a couple times, yes.
Yeah. I think I saw you on there. Yeah. So Fox Sports was going to start having WWE programming, and they asked me, they wanted to hire me to be a goofy correspondent for them. AKA my childhood dream come true. I couldn't be a wrestler, but maybe I could be a goofy. I'm a comedian now. Maybe I'd be a goofy guy, whatever, doing goofy stuff. So I was signed up, contracts ready to go, like contracts signed. I was going to be a correspondent at WrestleMania 2020 on Fox primetime, the Saturday night primetime before WrestleMania. I was going to be doing goofy man on the street, like Conan O'Brien type stuff, Daily Show type stuff. And I was going to be like a regular correspondent on that show. And then the world ended. And I was also, I went to Orlando and filmed some stuff with like Jeremy Borash and Jimmy Paradise and just the wonderful crew down there. And we separately from the Fox Sports thing, we filmed like a little NXT audition. If you go to my YouTube, you can see Taylor Williamson at NXT. And I filmed the thing and I talked to Triple H about working with the crew doing goofy stuff like that. And then anyway, COVID happened and then all my wrestling dreams fizzled. And I actually ended up creating a TV show for a wrestler from another company we don't talk about on the show. But I created a TV show for them. I got a pilot on.
And he screwed him, John. Taylor didn't screw him. He screwed Taylor.
There was some.
He sold the ideal, in other words.
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying it for you. We'll get sued. I'll just tell my
there's
attorney,
no lawsuit.
I
created a show for a wrestler over there, and I found a production company, and I did all the stuff. And then one of the executives at some company over there wanted to kick me off the deal because I didn't have a contract signed. Just kind of like, you didn't sign a contract, go fuck yourself. And it got a little bit litigious. And then I was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I'm just like, this is insane for a thing during COVID. I created a show with a young talent, and I got a production company attached. And you're trying to kick me out because you can? Because I didn't sign a contract? It was wild. And like the production company had my back, and like this guy was a scumbag. And it's not Tony Khan. I know it's just some guy who works with him in the production company, but it just became really gross. And I've been in this business for, it was like 18, 19 years at the time. I've never dealt with anyone so despicable and disgusting and like taking advantage of his talent, like to try to screw with like other person during COVID, anytime, but during COVID, someone brings you a work for your that shines a light on your talent and your company, and it's just love and it's money and it's something during a scary time in the world. I'm like, this guy was a scumbag. With that said, I'd love to work with WWE and make shows with them sincerely. And
hey, Taylor, your publicist just sent me a text message saying we're running overtime with this. So we plugged all. She said, "Did you plug all the Taylor shows? Did we plug all Taylor shows? Did you plug Taylor to YouTube special? Did we plug you to YouTube special? Did you plug How Good of a Guy, Taylor? We plugged How Good of a Guy. We didn't get real deep into it.
We didn't get deep into good time. Can I tell you guys, I have been such a fan of both of you for my entire life, and getting to be friends with you is so special. Getting to be a guest on your show, I wanted to do it for so long, and I'm so honored to be here. This is going to be.
Wait a minute! Well, not only are you going to be your guest on this show, but what are you doing later on this year? You are going to host the second ever greatest Q&A ever, featuring John Bradshaw, Layfield.
Yeah, you plugged everything but the stuff you're doing with us.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going look up Briscoe's big announcement. I'm still waiting for that. And check out, is next week the Q&A?
Yeah.
So next week,
close enough. Yeah.
And you know what? Watch the last Q&A because I hosted that one too. This is my first time as a guest.
They're the greatest ever. That means there's never been a greater Q&A than what you hosted. Never.
That's right. Greatest
and
ever.
The next one's going to be even greater. So Taylor, you're involved in two of the greatest ever Q&As. Two of them, not one, but two.
Yep. I'm honored, and I can't wait. And we're filming it next week. The show is live. I will probably be wearing the same clothes I'm wearing now, coincidentally, but it's because I don't change my clothes. No, I'm like Mark Zuckerberg. I just wear a black shirt every day because I'm very efficient. It's not because we're taping on the same day and the show's not live. The show's live.
Are you friends with Mark?
Oh, because I'm Jewish, you think we're all friends, pal?
Oh, see, there you go.
Are you friends with Tatanka? Are you friends with Tatanka?
Yeah, we are. I'm friends with Tatanka. I'm proud to say it, too.
Are you friends with Chief Jay Strongbow?
I'm only friends with true Native Americans, Taylor.
He gets hot if you bring that up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, who was your favorite Native American wrestler? Taylor told me Chief Jay Strongbow.
Unbelievable. Shocking.
That's respect in it. That's really.
Listen.
A lot of people liked him, and you know what? He was okay, but he wasn't. He's okay.
Can we wrap this up with Brisco?
We're gonna wrap it up.
Wrap this up.
Yeah.
But in conclusion,
cut all that shit out, John.
No, listen. Can you cut a
promo? None out. Too much work.
Can you cut a promo telling them to watch my special, and then we can end it?
Okay.
Taylor Williamson live at the Comedy Store, free on YouTube right now. Share with your friends. Don't be a jabroni.
Watch Taylor's special.
John, let me tell you.
Look in the camera. Look in the camera, Brisco.
What camera?
That one. Yeah.
John, let me tell you something. Our friend, John, what's your name again? Taylor Williamson, a.k.a. the funniest man in show business, a.k.a. the second most funniest man on America's Got Talent ever. That means in the history of that show has what's it called again?
A comedy special?
Oh, comedy special. What's it called?
Where are you looking?
I'm looking at my camera.
You're like, yeah, everybody listen up.
Would you quit overproducing him?
That's how he was on that Brisco.
Do you have time out?
Yeah, we did a 3-minute segment that took us 8 hours.
Can you imagine, by the way, during COVID, I'm in a different part of the country. I have him with a laptop zooming, trying to get him to get on Zoom is hard enough, okay? And then he has his iPhone set up. He's recording on his phone. I'm zooming him, directing him. And by the way, can I tell you? Killer talent. So effing funny. Modern day Mae Young, any wrestling company not considering it is stupid.
Look at these videos. Agree with that.
Look, I mean this with my soul, as a producer, as a 20-year comedian, as a lifelong wrestling fan who gets the product and respects the product. This guy, watch Brisco's big announcement. Watch all of them. Watch any of them. It's not really organized, but click around, you get it. So funny, unique character. No one like him. He knows how to deliver. He's so funny. Like, the jokes are mine. I'm just telling him that's so good. Turn it up a little bit. He's superstar. And anyways, that's my promo on.
So anyway, listen to this here. The hell with Taylor. If you want to laugh, if you really want to laugh, now holiday season is one of the most stressful seasons there is. That damn Christopher Columbus raped all of our women during our Thanksgiving holiday. And then Taylor's people with our Lord and Savior is a different story. But Taylor will get on. He's produced now one of the greatest all-time comedies in the history of comedy. And you know what, John? It's free. That means it's gratis. That means you don't pay a thing. It's totally gratis. All you got to do is go to YouTube. Taylor Williamson. I was going to say TaylorComedy.com, but that's not in it. But anyway, go to YouTube, type in Taylor Williamson. You'll get up and you'll laugh for the next 2.5 hours. Believe me, It's the funniest thing that you'll ever see on YouTube, except for my Brisco's Big Announcement, who was produced by Taylor Williamson. So that's it. If you don't do it, Santa Claus is not going to bring you a truck of coal.
And it's you'll laugh for 2.5 hours if you watch it 5 times because it's about 30 minutes long.
I've only watched it
I
once.
corrected him. Taylor, hey Taylor, thanks. We'll see you on the Q&A.
Thanks, you guys.